the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sean.
Hi.
How are you today?
Oh, just dandy.
How's the mouth feeling?
You know, actually, the mouth feels pretty good. So yesterday, for those who didn't know, I had a dentist appointment. I was put under heavy anesthesia, and they uncovered my implants. That sounds dirty.
They
I know.
uncovered your what?
Uncovered my implants.
Oh, your implants. Okay.
Yeah. So the dental,
something else.
No, the dental implants on the bottom. They went ahead and uncovered those. So they're uncovered. My old bottoms are still in while the implant sites heal, and then they're going to put the final in. If that makes sense.
Final to the final.
Kind of. I'm basically wearing a cast that is the bottom half of my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like wearing an arm cast or something, but it's teeth.
So how longer are you in this phase before the final phase?
I think it's like 2 to 3 months they have to let this heal before they can install the posts and then put in the final.
Okay.
So close.
Well, you got to be feeling happy about that. One step closer.
Boy, howdy am I ever. One step closer to the final phase. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, was your recouping a little better this time?
You know, it seemed to be, and I think part of it was because the last time I went home, and I distinctly remember the last time I went home, or after dental surgery, I passed out in my bed, woke up literally like ruining my pillow, like I'd stained the pillow. But this time I went ahead and fell asleep on the couch, so I'm guessing because gravity was doing its job, I didn't bleed out. I don't know the nice way to put that.
It's like when you have a nosebleed, you know.
Yeah. This was
I was in the right position.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
You
good.
did it.
I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the biggest news happening in our community overnight since the last show. I mean, obviously the governor spoke yesterday,
Right.
And basically mandated masks indoors, vaccinations for all healthcare and school workers. Yeah, which I've seen mixed reactions to.
Yep.
Also, within the last 15, 16 hours, Roswell High School will now voluntarily shut down the 18th through the 27th. What's the 18th? Is that today?
That would be, yes.
Okay.
Hang on. Yes,
What's today's date?
Today's the 18th. You're right. No, it's the 18th. Yeah. Sorry.
I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day Bizarro world where being
Dude,
at the house every day.
Don't even get me started on how off I've been for the last week.
But
and I know
yes,
they say once you hit the mic button, turn it off, but I'm trying, but
the man's got teeth.
I got teeth to grind now, exactly. Yeah.
That's right. But yes, Roswell High voluntarily shut down. And so that is in effect through the 18th to the 27th. What that means is this is kind of an attempt to get ahead of the curve on the COVID spread.
Right.
However, because they voluntarily shut down versus the PED saying, no, you've had 4, you're down. That means activities, sports, things like that can continue. So football, all the other sports, barring any other things, those will happen.
Yeah.
So that's good news.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
obviously, it's not good that now the kids are out of school for another week.
I admire the fact that we sacrifice science for sports. Yeah, who needs math? It's overrated. Football, that's what we need.
Yeah. So
kids crashing against each other, helmet to helmet. That's what we need. I rang my bell from across the table. See if I can do it again.
Is that a bell ring? There you go. Now I hear it. That first one didn't sound like a bell.
Yeah, it's because it bounced.
That noise. There goes the table.
That's fine. It's quality craftsmanship from Glenn's Furniture, the corner of Union and Alameda.
This is true. So now we've got Goddard High PED closed down. The two elementary schools, El Capitan and I can't remember off the top of my head.
I want to say
and then
Valley View. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then of course Roswell High now voluntarily closing for the next to the 27th. So that's
Buckle
what
up.
we're looking at.
But hey,
So
sports will continue. There you go. Hey, let's give them the rundown today.
yes, we have a bevy of stuff for you today. This hour, about 7:15 or so, John with Oasis Computers will join us for his monthly visit, and John talks tech with us, and fixes tech. You know what, Sean? Maybe he can talk tech with you, and have you less mad at tech.
I'm mad at tech for a whole host of other reasons. I don't think he can tell me how to not want to throw my phone across the room. For those who are just tuning in, I woke up this morning to a dead phone. A dead phone. Yeah, we'll move that in a second. I'm sorry. It's a setup for it because Mike's remote. Yeah, John just wandered in. So Mike is remote, so we have big flat Mike set up to fill in for non-flat Mike.
Oh, John's trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, he's just staring at the gigantic flat mic and looking at the speech bubble that says Robert Pattinson is forever my Batman.
He's probably going, well, who's Robert Pattinson?
I'm so confused right now. Yeah, that makes sense. You have every right to be confused. We're a confusing bunch of people.
Yeah.
But we'll get that moved out of your way for here in just a second.
But yes, John will sit down with us, and we'll give him the skinny on what's going on.
Yeah.
And then he'll talk Oasis computers and technology with us.
That's right.
Yeah. 8 o'clock hour. I guess we'll chit-chat.
Yeah, we got some open time.
Yeah. So we'll chit-chat, talk about our world, lives, and complain about things. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we'll have the folks from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce drop by.
Yes, indeed.
And give us the update on all things happening with the chamber. They've had business after hours, ribbon cuttings, magazines came out last couple weeks, all kind of stuff. So
I just
chit chat about that.
I just chuckled that Gene said, "Oh, it's just the interviews, Sean. It's just the interviews." Sorry, I'm venting. Hey, how about the weather? 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's get you up to date on that weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. About average on our temperatures today, with afternoon highs in the low 90s and just enough moist air to get an isolated shower or thunderstorm going late in the day. Otherwise, partly to mostly sunny. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight and upper 60s. Tomorrow we'll get sunshine in the morning, isolated afternoon storms again, breezy and low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently, I forgot to get my iPad in front of me. Sorry about that.
Sorry, what?
Professionalism.
Yeah, buddy.
Currently 67 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 93%. Winds currently out of the south at 9 miles per hour. For today, mostly sunny. Highs around 92. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, they're slipping in a 20% chance of showers for us, mainly before midnight, otherwise partly cloudy. Overnight low of 69 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 93. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For Thursday night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 66 with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Then for Friday, sunny and 93. Wow, I'm sensing a pattern. Southwest winds 5 to 10. And then looking at your weekend, 20% chance of showers Saturday, mostly sunny, highs around 91. 20% chance of rain on Sunday as well, mostly sunny, highs around 89.
Hey,
All
Mike.
right. Yes.
Let me tell you real quick about Zia Guns.
Let me tell you, boy. Yeah, tell me,
Yeah.
boy.
Let me tell you all about Zia Guns, because Zia Guns, they have your Rossi 22 caliber rifles in stock and on sale right now for $149 while supplies last. Did you know that Zia Guns is also your full-time Tacticam dealer? Those are the same ones that the hunting shows and all the fishing shows use worldwide. You see them on TV. Now you can have them in your hands. The Tacticam line available at Zia Guns USA. They also have a new shipment of bench-made knives and case knives in stock at Zia Guns. They buy your guns. They have cash on hand, and you can walk away with cash today. Do you know Zia Guns also carries Black Rifle Coffee, Dr. Squatch Soap, and all sorts of other great stuff for your non-pistol packing friends and family. Shop locally. Shop Zia Guns USA at 1907 North Main in Roswell. The only gun store open on Sundays but closed on Saturdays because they spend Saturdays with their family, and you should too. Zia Guns USA at right there at 1907 North Main in Roswell.
Absolutely. Get you some coffee.
Just a thought.
Have you had a cup?
Just a passing thought.
Have you had a cup?
A cup of coffee?
Yeah.
I'm about halfway through.
All right.
We're going to be all right, Mike. We're going to be all right.
Good. You eating enough?
My saving grace is that my boss doesn't listen to this show.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is recorded.
That's true, and his wife does.
And he does nothing, but yeah. So,
I don't care.
you get your shovel out. Have fun with it.
I don't care at this point. Why don't you kick us to commercial, Mike?
All right, it is 7:17. Let's take a quick commercial break, about 3 minutes here. And then John with Oasis will figure out what we're doing after he looks at our confused situation. And we'll talk with him about technology and Oasis computers. That's on the other side. Don't go away.
The massive vehicle elimination event is on now at Roswell Honda. A huge roundup of clean, quality pre-owned vehicles marked way, way down to clear the lot. They need the space, so you get the savings. Like a 2014 Grand Caravan for just $169 a month, a 2010 Honda Pilot for just $159 a month, or a 2014 Chevy Cruze for just $139 a month. And with $2,000 of payment assistance, now is the best time ever to buy. Get a 12-pack for stopping by, a smartwatch with qualified test drive, and Monopoly with every purchase. The massive vehicle elimination event on now at Roswell Honda. 2177 West 2nd.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
You're invited to the 15th Annual Ag Invitational Golf Tournament, happening September 2nd through the 4th at the Artesia Country Club Golf Course. Proceeds raised will benefit the Eddy County, Chaves County, and Eastern New Mexico State Fair Junior Livestock Sales. Sponsorship at this year's event includes over $12,000 in prizes, plus closest to the pin, door prizes, free drinks and food, and player and sponsor gifts. Call Juan Jimenez for more information and to sign up, 575-746-6732. Presented by First American Bank, Schooler Purina, DBS Commodities, CVE, Royal Services, and Pecos Valley Equipment.
Celebrate heroes during Roswell Ford's first annual 9/11 Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September 11th from 10 to noon at Roswell Ford. Register now at roswellford.com to enter in the car show. Entry is $20 with all proceeds going to benefit local charities. You must have your vehicle set up at Roswell Ford by 8 a.m. on September 11th with your vehicle on display until 1 p.m. Trophies awarded for first, second, and third place in each category, plus the People's Choice Award. Deadline to enter is September 6th. Do you know someone who makes a difference at home, at work or school, or in the community? Nominate them for the first ever Hometown Hero Award. Complete and submit your nomination form at roswellford.com. You can nominate anyone to be a hometown hero. One Roswell Ford hometown hero will be selected and honored during the event. Register now for the first annual Roswell Ford Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September the 11th. This event sponsored by LGS Guns & Ammo, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, CRM Discount Awards and Sports, and National Furniture Liquidators.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. Joining us in studio this morning is John from Oasis Computers. How are you doing this morning?
Doing good. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, John.
By the way,
Hello.
I have his headphones on, so the disembodied voice of Mr. Mike Winters might come in every now and again just to ask you a question or to press Control Alt Delete or something.
Morning, John.
Good morning. How are you? I hear you have your problems.
Yeah, problems.
Well, he's married, so the problems
Most of them mental.
go a lot deeper.
Not what we were talking about. But I hope everything is good and going well.
Thank you, John. Yes, we're holding down the fort.
I actually asked him about the situation that you're in, Mike, and he suggested that you go ahead and turn the unit off and then on again. That might help. Just a suggestion.
All right.
Have you tried that?
And I tried plugging it in too.
Oh,
That helps too in general. Yes. Or put the battery in.
Yes.
well, John is hard at work. Obviously, we've been. It's been an interesting time. Kind of, every day we take it as day at a time. But you guys have been hard at work at Oasis, making sure that folks have the computers that are going to keep them functioning in this pandemic era.
Yes, we try to keep them running. We try to keep them going, and so far so good.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of something that's interesting. I was chatting with John off the air. You drive down the streets of Roswell and you see just 67 now hiring signs. We need people. We can't open our doors unless we have a couple of people. That's one of those problems that Oasis Computers doesn't face.
Not at this point. No, I guess more and more people use different equipment and whatever, and the computers are getting less. I guess less in use. So
yeah.
That reduces the need for more help, I guess, especially since we don't do the phones no more.
Right.
I just don't have the time for it.
So you've kind of pivoted your focus a little bit to just computers.
Back to where we started.
There you go.
Just computers, just trying to keep them running and fixing it. I like it. I'm pretty good at it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So not for me to say maybe, but
And you guys are kind of the only game in town too, as far as getting stuff fixed, getting stuff prepared. You're the ones.
right on the stuff that we do, fixing computers for small business and home users. That there's not much competition at the moment.
What are you finding the most repairs coming up? Like what things are you finding that you're dealing with the most?
These days, messed up computers, people infecting themselves, people
okay.
Not knowing how to operate it. But
lonely times.
Lost passwords is
Right.
really something. It's really aggravating. Or
It's lonely times. People go to the darkest parts of the internet and come up with things.
That's right.
that's not where you lose your password. That's supposed to be in your password book, and you're supposed to know it. But the problem is that the customers that come in the store with that don't know how important it is to have the password. It's been how do I put it? It's been escalating as to you need this. It's more secure. Now you have a second option. Your phone rings before you tie in. And I don't think that the general public has caught up that needs to be done. And you need to know that. Nobody else can tell you. That's the whole idea.
Right. Yeah, I've actually run into a couple of stories over the last couple of months of people who had accounts with Bitcoin or Dogecoin or whatever in them, and they couldn't access these hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin they had because they can't remember their password.
You're still doing the Leo Laporte show, right?
Yeah, we are.
Leo Laporte lost his password
Did he
for a
really?
Bitcoin. So, I mean, it used to be kind of that oh, you're stupid. But I see so many people that are not stupid, that are even in the business, like Leo, and he lost it too.
You know, you see, like, the random password generators, like Google will randomly generate you a password. And it's always like a percentage sign and like 15 different symbols. Your mindset is, I'm not going to remember that. I'll just put it in the queue, and Google will remember it for me, right? But that doesn't always work.
Well, if you have a password manager that you're dedicated with, before Google started pushing this harder, and Microsoft Edge also, if you pay for it, you know what you have. You can get access to it.
Sure.
And as long as the PlayStation business works. The only thing not to forget at that point is the master password. Nobody knows that. If they do know it, you shouldn't go with them. If you can call tech support and say, what's my master password, that's not what you want.
Right.
You need to remember that one complicated password. And Google Chrome has had it built in for a long time, but in the beginning you could just look in the computer. If you had access to a computer, you could sit in front of it, you could see all the passwords. If you had remote access to it, you could see all the passwords. They're working on that, making that a little safer. And just lately, last year or so, we're starting to think that maybe it's better to save the passwords in Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, because you didn't forget them. I've helped many people because I looked through their Google account with the passwords and finding the password that they forgot.
Right.
So, but it's not necessarily a good idea to have it there, but if you can't get in, that's not good either. So
it's a catch-22. It's like, yeah, sure, they have access to it just as easily as you do, but if you forget the password, you don't have access either.
Right.
So.
Passwords don't work is what the problem is. And then on top of that, as it's sneaking up on us with more security, we need to be more secure. Many people have the mindset still of, well, I don't care, that's not important to me. But it gets important later on. You know, look at email. You were communicating with whatever. You got some, whatever you bought, and it sent you an email. You talked to somebody, sent you an email, whatever. Now we get emails from the state, from the government, from everywhere.
Right.
And sometimes you need to have that email to figure out what you did, what you paid, where you paid it, whatever. And if you can't get into it, it's becoming a big problem.
It is. And, you know, I've talked to a lot of people that have, like, 16, 17 different email accounts, one's for business, one's for personal use. And yeah, the keeping track of passwords has become an issue. But also, I mean, the ability to access these different accounts, these different platforms has also become an issue. I've noticed almost a move towards like a uniform design, it would seem like with a lot of these different apps, with a lot of these different programs, where the way they're designing them is kind of more uniform to where every program functions the same, essentially.
Yeah, well, one of the big, you touched on something there. One of the biggest problems that I see is the too many options to do the same thing, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you social media, one's on Facebook and then go down the list. How many are there? 20, 30, whatever now? You got to try this one. I'm on this one. You're on that one. We don't communicate.
Right.
Too many options to do the same thing. Windows itself is really bad with that. You have 5 different ways of accomplishing the same thing, and then you get mixed up and say, why does it not work? Because you go off on the one side and forget about the other one. Somebody else tries to tell you how to do it, and you go like, no, that can't be true.
And I feel like I already know the answer to this question, but which do you find is easier to work with? Your Windows PCs or your Apples?
Apple is easier mainly because they are, how do I put it, more precise, more picky. Give me a good word for being picky.
Sure.
Whatever it is. They're much more picky in having it function the same way, the same direction, the same whatever. They really try hard to get that done. In general, there is only really, for the end user, there's many different ways of handling it too, but what the end user deals with is really kind of one way, very streamlined, very similar. And if you stay in the Apple world, everything works together real well.
It's more uniform.
But you don't have everything. You can't do everything. You are not as free. You are, kind of...
you can't get into the inner machinations of things.
Right. You can't... you get stuck in their world. and can't get out, and that's not good either.
Sure.
On the PC side, it's you can do anything you want if you study up on it, know enough about it. But it's there's too many different options.
That's the problem with and I have an Android. I use Windows PCs almost exclusively, and I've always loved that because it is, you have that ability to kind of build your own adventure, so to speak.
Right.
Whereas with Apple, you're kind of going down that Apple path. The danger is when you're building your own adventure, you could welcome in all kinds of dragons from all sorts of different areas that you weren't expecting. That's the scary part.
Another part of the problem seems to be I lost my thought there.
With as far as like with Windows PCs and as far as like their ability to kind of do everything, kind of their ability to get into the inner machinations and
the arrogance of the big companies, maybe is just what I was looking for. I kind of lost my thought there, but we just on the Leo Laporte show, Steve Gibson. I just listened to his show yesterday, and he was ranting and raving about Microsoft, how they don't fix stuff internally. Apparently, this is with the print spooler. The print spooler has had lots of trouble for the last 25 years. But we didn't know about it. Some we did, some we didn't. And now these hackers that hack into everything have used taken advantage of these issues that they have so they can break into the Colonial Pipeline and whatever you got out there, the hospitals and whatever. And this last one that he was talking about yesterday was they were made aware of it by some guy that is into this stuff, trying to figure out where it goes wrong. Bounty hunter for you get paid sometimes for it. But anyway, he notified in December Microsoft there was a problem in it. I'm not a programmer. I fix computers, but I don't program. So I don't know how hard it is to fix that problem. But according to Steve Gibson, he said just hire one guy, a good programmer. He can get it fixed in a little bit. Shouldn't be a big problem. Put some people on it. You guys got enough money, is what he was saying.
Absolutely, yeah.
So get it done. And they just didn't. And I think 2 to 4 weeks ago, somewhere is what he said, there was taken advantage of that flaw. And Microsoft said, oh, God, we got to scramble to fix this. They had 8 months to fix it, and they did not. Right. I'm not sure.
And that's not an isolated incident. I've heard that happen
that keeps coming over and over. Microsoft, it just doesn't, you see them make new stuff, new Windows, and everybody goes like, can I use this? Why is it changed again? And everybody's complaining about that. Stop doing that, and for a couple of years, just fix every problem in it so it's more reliable. I think I'm starting to compare it with what I've heard so far with cars. You got a car that has a defect in it, Pinto with its gas tank exploding, whatever. They come and go all the time. The government has oversight and then goes to the company and says, you need to fix this. They don't fix it, they get fined. If it causes too much problem, they get fined or they get sued by the end user for having a defective car. What was built in, not defective because something broke on it, whatever. Right. But it was avoidable. And I think that Microsoft, if you ever read through their agreement, you got to click yes on to get it going. They are not liable for nothing. Here is the crap software, and hope it works for you.
Yep, we're giving you...
And make the most out of it. And then you find that there's a problem with it. You ask them to fix it. They don't.
Did you read your end-user license agreement, sir?
Yeah, we're not liable for that. That needs to change. I think that, it needs to hurt for a company like Microsoft to have this problem because the whole world is paying through the nose for it.
I agree. Now, there is the third option. I mean, a lot of people will say if you know what you're doing, if you sort of have a bit of a knowledge of programming, a bit of a knowledge of how the operating systems work, Linux-based PCs are the way to go. A lot of people say that Linux is the operating system for the folks that just want to avoid all the problems.
Yeah, but...
You got to know what you're doing is the problem.
Steve Gibson addressed it yesterday, too. Leo Laporte was asking Steve, it's like, but you're still using Windows, right? And they were talking about go to Linux, whatever. Yes, the world has built up on Windows, unfortunately. You can't just change for it. If you need your QuickBooks, for instance, in Linux, now you need to change. You need to find out what it is.
Right.
There is no help in Windows, but there's absolutely no help in Linux. You have to go to forums to talk to people, whatever. You have to be smart to use it. And not to call anybody stupid, because this stuff is very complicated to use. Microsoft has made it, the one thing they did do is made it easy to use it. So everybody's using it, but this easy to use, nobody understands how it works. Right. If you click on start and my program and whatever works fine. But I've seen in the past, lately I haven't seen this because people are smarter now than that, but that an icon on the screen got moved from the top corner to the bottom corner, and I got a call, I can't run it.
I don't know
it's
what
gone.
I'm supposed to do.
And I just click on it, start it up, and say, how did you do that? It's over here.
So if you ever worked in radio, then this is one of those things where when you have this problem where like you can't function, you can't even go on the air, nothing's working, the engineer will inevitably always come in, look at your board, press one button, look at you, and then walk out. And everything works fine.
Right. Why didn't you know that?
A lot, by the way.
Do what?
That happens to Sean a lot, by the way.
Shut up, Mike. It's happened more often than I like to admit. It's for doggone sure.
Well, it's complicated. There's a lot of stuff there. I once in a while compare it with the microwave. What do you want? I want to heat up popcorn. Okay, there's a button on it that says popcorn. Put a popcorn bag in it, push the button, done. You also can buy a microwave that has a big book with it and 20 million options and whatever. If you just want to make some popcorn, that one may not be good for you because you either burn it or it doesn't get done or whatever because of the options you have. That's part of the problem we have. We need to...
get the machine for the job that you want to get done.
And Linux is, at this point, not it either. And it's not really any safe. They all have the same problems. But on Linux, it's open source. Anybody can look at the code and make a change or recommend a change or whatever. Whereas in Windows, it's you can't see what's under the hood. That problem that needs to be fixed in the print spooler, nobody can fix it because they have that locked up. It's compiled, it's whatever, and you don't know.
Sure.
So that's where a problem comes in. But everybody uses it. So I think as a society, we need to knock on Microsoft and Google's door and say, guys, if there is a problem not fixed within 3 months, not anything done, we got to take some action, whatever that amounts to. I don't know, but these folks need to be made aware of that they need to change. And with their attitude, it seems like it needs to hurt them.
It's one of those situations where a company is too big to fail, so to speak. They're
that
too big
comes
for their
to mind.
britches, essentially.
Yeah, it's too big to. Yes, you're right, and that's why they get away with it because, what else can happen? What else? Well, this stop. Don't go forward for a little bit. I mean, if the coronavirus has taught us anything, everything is on hold.
Right.
We can put Windows on hold. It just needs to keep better more. People are barely caught up with what came out 6-7 years ago.
Right. And it's irritating because especially in our business, when Windows wants to update, it confounds our whole system. When Windows decides, they're going to update, all of a sudden, now we have to go in and reset everything to make sure that our transfers are happening.
What's the problem there? If you're on the radio show and Windows just decides to reboot on its own, you can't do your radio show, that's a problem?
It certainly comes up every now and again, yes.
Yes, I know the same feeling. And then lately, it seems like every day I have to fix, adjust, redo something. I never had to reboot my phone. I don't know what I added to it or if it's the phone or whatever, but lately... I wear the headset, the bone-conducting one, so I can hear what's around me. Works great. But the phone rings, I answer it, and it rings through my headset. But when the guy starts talking on the other end of the line, I can't hear him.
Right.
Because now he's stuck in the phone. I need to put my phone to my ear or change it. Then I tried to turn the Bluetooth on. It don't work. Found a simple way to fix it. The first time it does that, reboot the phone. Then everything works fine again. Now we're back to Windows. If Windows don't work, reboot Windows. We don't have to do that much lately no more. But in the past, if you remember, it was, don't let it run overnight. If you do let it run overnight, maybe restart it in the morning so everything is fresh again. Otherwise, you run out of memory. It builds up memory problems and things like that.
Yeah, and half the time I just distinctly remember, it's turn the unit off at the end of the day and restart at the beginning of the day. That's a problem for someone like me who likes to keep programs open or have access to things.
The other thing, I've got a machine that just shows some cameras on it. It's just so I can see what's going on out there. It doesn't even record. That I gave up on that. It records sometimes, and then when you need it, you don't have it. Right. So worthless too. But that thing reboots, and then I have to start the cameras up. I move them around, put them in the right spot again. I'm good at it now, but the first couple of times, it's like, how did I have this now? And this is one of the complaints I have. But if I redo my machine or buy another one, it's all different, and I need to put it back together where I have it.
This is the way I'm used to doing it. It's like, I have to take 16 steps to get it done, but I'm used to it. I'll give you a prime example. My phone is so old and like messed up right now that in order to get my phone, and I'm dealing with this today because it was dead when I woke up this morning. In order to get my phone to charge, I have to turn my phone off, plug it in, then turn it back on to get it to charge. Because for some reason it says that there's moisture in the USB port when there is none. But it's like it's just reading it as such. So I have to turn my phone off, plug it in, then turn it back on, and then it will charge semi-normal.
Right.
But it's a whole MacGyver of like, but that's the thing is we as a society, as people, are just so used to just doing things the way that we know to do it that we'd rather take the 16 steps rather than like, trade it in, get something better that would just do it in one step. We're creatures of habit.
I get you. Well, I get your point. The equipment is used to get a job done. When I first started, a lot of it was hobbying. Mm-hmm. Oh, we like to do something. What can we do with it? Well, not much, whatever. So it runs into business. Business start using it. Smaller businesses, not big business. They had already some computers, the mainframes, whatever. But so finally you come up with a spreadsheet of whatever it is you use and go like, this makes my life much easier.
Right.
And then, one day you wake up and say, well, we don't make that no more. You need to use this over here. Why can I use the old one? Why is it more features in it? I use Evernote and used it for 8 years, 7, 8 years, 9 years, a while. And lately they have been adding features to it, and I go like, oh God, no, I don't need those. It has a calendar in it. It has meeting capabilities. It has communicating with other people in it. I just make notes in it. It's all I want. If it would do that now, I need to do 3 clicks to start a note up, whereas before I just started it.
It's all a product of a board meeting, a boardroom full of people saying, we need to figure out how our program can do more. We need to diversify what our program can do.
The Coke debacle comes back up to mind. Mm-hmm. We need to change our Coke because we need to improve and move forward with sales. Yep. We make the new Coke, nobody buys it. Half a year later, it's like, maybe we should put the old Coke back in or something.
My theory behind the whole Coke thing is that they did that on purpose. They intentionally launched a product that was close to the taste of Pepsi just so they could remind their fan base, it's not as good as you think it is. And then we're going to launch Coca-Cola Classic to give you the flavor that you've been missing. See,
never thought of it that way,
genius.
But in my lifespan so far, I keep finding that they screw up, to put it bluntly, the stuff you have and like, and make it different. Food needs to be different. And the other thing I don't get, there must be an end to it. More sales, more income, more... there is a limit to that. If you sell everybody a computer and they're all still good... Well, we can make them artificially obsolete, what I think Windows 11 is going to do. So we need to buy a new one. What a waste. Why? I mean, we got now 15-year-old computers that can still function good.
It's forced obsolescence. It's basically exactly what phones have been doing for years. That over, the 3 or 4 versions of your phone ago, your battery will start degrading faster than, normal because, it's old.
Well, the battery, why can't we just replace the battery? Why do we have to unglue the back off? Hopefully don't break it. And then a laptop, same thing. The batteries are starting to move inside.
I remember.
Why?
I distinctly remember being able to take the battery off
of
my phone.
You just pull it out the back, and then you buy a new one if it's not working. If your machine locks up, whatever, you can pull the battery out and unplug it, and power is completely gone. But now you have to be careful when you open them up. Is it still running because the battery's inside?
Did I avoid the warranty because I broke the sticker? It's all
the Lenovo now has a tendency to, when you open the lid up, it comes on like a Chromebook.
Right.
Great and wonderful until you have to work on it. I open it up and I start messing inside, and it's like, wait a minute, fan is turning. What the? It came back on. Just there's so many things
and
that are stupid.
And there's no way to get around that. You can't. Normally, you could disconnect the battery to avoid something like that, but that's not
and why
an option
does it
now.
need to be pretty so I can hold on to it? The little rubbery wouldn't be better, you think?
Yeah,
why does it need to go all the way to the edge?
Exactly.
Every time I
super breakable glass. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's all that forced obsolescence, so that you have to get another one.
they want you to buy one every year, right?
It's brilliant
Seems to be.
marketing. I mean, I'll give them that.
Yeah, but
don't
it
think that's-
ruins the world. Yes.
I think in the computer world, though, that's how they make their money. I mean, I remember my first computer, and it was one of those Gateway computers.
Yep.
Remember Bay Gateway? Well, they made those so you couldn't upgrade them without basically swapping out the motherboards. They built them with the intent of it becoming obsolete and getting you to buy the newer model.
Right.
Because I remember getting one, and then later I was like, "Hey, can we upgrade the hard drive?" And a friend of mine was like, "Nope, they only have slots for this and that, and
Well,
very proprietized."
on the other end, 20 years ago or so, when Gateway was good, your computer was older than 5 years, and somebody would bring in the store and it's like, "Why are you using this old thing? You can do so much better." But that has changed. Technology was moving forward at a pace that the computer was indeed obsolete because it can do so much more. Not that what you were doing with it was fine on the old one, maybe. But now we got computers 15 years old, still run Windows 10, still run all the programs on it. It's no reason to not use them anymore if they're still functioning properly.
Absolutely. And if you have a computer like that and you want it to function properly, if it's not functioning properly, bring it over to John at Oasis Computers.
Right.
because
We'll
I
let you know if we can fix it, want to fix it, or should fix it,
Right.
and fix it if we need to.
And if not, they've
How's,
got an option for you.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Have you been getting a lot of requests for the upgrading to the solid state hard drives?
It's still running like hotcakes, and everyone that I propose it to almost goes for it. Every once in a while, somebody says no or doesn't want to go with it, whatever. But 99 out of 100 will put it in for the price that it takes and go like, oh, great. And when they come back, when they pick it up, or sometimes they just pick it up and then they tell me later, it's like, wow, that made a difference, man. And that's the one thing these days that's wonderful. Now Windows 11 is coming out, and Windows 11 wants to make any machine that's like older than, well, even some brand new ones right now. They need to have supposedly the, what is it called, TPM module in it, trusted TMP module platform in it. If it doesn't have it, now part of it is security, I guess. But if it doesn't have it, Windows 11 wouldn't run, meaning that Windows 10 will run for another 4 or 5 years, and then it's obsolete. So then a potentially good, full working machine would not run Windows 11. Not going to Windows 11 is more insecure, staying on the old platform. And then you can throw your computer away. That's perfectly good and plenty powerful enough, better than some new ones.
So if I run my computer on, just pick one operating system as an example, 98 second edition, is that going to be obsolete like in a couple of years? Am I not going to be able to use my 98 second edition computer?
No, you can still use it, but it is obsolete and you shouldn't.
You can't do nothing with it.
The problem is that
I can still play Worms Armageddon on it, right?
Well, whatever you could use it for at the time will still work fine, but anything
I don't have to
new
play
may not work right.
regular solitaire. I can play.
Hey, that's a point you're making there. There's so many people come in and say, "Where's the old solitaire, the simple one? I loved it," and it's not there no more.
Right. It's funny too
just
because
want to play solitaire.
if you look at some of the programs that were added on early Windows PCs, they were strictly added to like show you the new features of
Right.
the operating system.
Right, can do this, it can do this,
So
and whatever.
here's a game to show you. Oh, it can double click, and you can do. It's like that's not necessary anymore. So they took solitaire away from us. But some people just like to play solitaire.
Well, the solitaire's still in it,
Right.
But it's now under the apps that come from the App Store, and it's fancy, and it does more, and it looks fancier and whatever. But the regular old little card game, that's what people want to play. And they're-
Green screen, change. I always used to change the backgrounds of the cards to
Right.
the magician, where the card would pop out of his sleeve every now and again.
Oh.
It was like the animated
You're right,
one.
right.
So, but we've grown up a bit. Technology's grown up a bit, obviously. But it's a bygone era, and people are we
Right.
get hooked on a certain way of doing things.
It will get better. Everything is getting better, but some ways we get to it is kind of questionable.
There you go. Now, if folks need repairs, if folks have questions, they just want to chat with you, maybe get some advice. How do they reach out to you?
Well, the best way is to stop by the store. And then, of course, we're open these days to accommodate everything and to make everything work from 8 till 1, Monday through Friday. We do by special appointment in the afternoon. Give us a call. Texting works a little bit, but not too great. Sending an email, it may take 1 or 2 days before I get to it.
Sure.
If you need help, just call on the phone.
There you
and
go.
please, the folks that keep calling that do baloney calls, stop calling.
Yeah, it's
But that everybody has that problem. That's another thing these days.
we're all busy people. Let's not waste time on phones. But
I don't talk baloney. I talk turkey.
ooh,
Okay, whatever works for you.
with your fancy needs. So there you go. Oasis Computers always there to help out when you need them. 8 to 1, Monday through Friday. You can. What's the phone number?
575-625-9141.
There you go.
And
65
1703 North Garden Avenue. Don't confuse it with Atkinson.
Yes.
Garden, right behind the Wool Bowl Stadium.
That's right. It's easy to miss, but you're definitely going to find the place if you are in need of repairs. Well, John, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you, and we'll see you back here next time.
Okay, very good. Hope
Thanks.
everything gets better.
Breathing, and we're getting through it. It's day by day. 9 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Let's get you up to date with some local news.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. On Sunday night, August 15th, agents with the Chavez County Metro Narcotics Task Force intercepted a shipment of illegal fentanyl pills, heroin, and a gun headed to Roswell. The suspect, 39-year-old Amber Kerr of Roswell, was stopped while driving into the city from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Amber was in possession of over 1,000 fentanyl pills, along with heroin and a gun, police said. It's the largest fentanyl bust to date in Roswell, valued at least $25,000 on the street. Amber Kerr was arrested. She's now being held on federal charges. The Gilberto Romero sculpture Gathering Spot was again the victim of vandals at Halagüeño Arts Park. It's the second time the sculpture has been vandalized over the past few years. In the early hours of Tuesday, August 10th, 4 of the bronze birds were stolen from the stone monoliths. The art was originally installed in 2015 and was first vandalized about a week later. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
If you're considering buying a counterfeit coronavirus vaccination card online, listen up. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by ExpressVPN. Keep your online data private. Get 3 extra months free at expressvpn.com/Kim. Thousands of counterfeit coronavirus vaccination cards wrapped in bundles and printed with the official CDC logo have been seized by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection as they pass through a major shipping hub in Memphis. Most cards are purchased on eBay and shipped to the Americans from China. Making or buying a counterfeit card violates federal laws against the unauthorized use of an official government's agency seal, in this case, the Centers for Disease Control. The cards can easily be spotted by typos and meaningless words printed on the card. But could a private citizen be arrested using a fake vaccination card purchased online? Legal experts say yes. Any unauthorized use of any government emblem, it's all a federal crime. Get Tech News 24/7 at commando.com.
SimpliSafe is an award-winning home security system, so you know it's engineered with the latest technology to keep your family safe. But what really sets SimpliSafe apart is its people. Highly trained security experts who are always there for you when you need them most. They truly care about keeping you safe. When an alarm goes off, the person who cares is there for you with a phone call just to make sure you're okay. When an emergency happens, they're there to get fire and police responders to your front door right away. The bottom line is this: when you need them most, SimpliSafe is there 24/7 with experts trained not only to keep you safe, but to make you feel safe. It's one of the many reasons that U.S. News recently called SimpliSafe the best home security of 2021. Go there now. That's simplysafekim.com. Plus, save 20% on your SimpliSafe security system and get your first month free when you sign up for interactive monitoring at simplysafekim.com. That's simplysafekim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. About average on our temperatures today, with afternoon highs in the low 90s and just enough moist air to get an isolated shower or thunderstorm going late in the day. Otherwise, partly to mostly sunny. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight, and upper 60s. Tomorrow we'll get sunshine in the morning, isolated afternoon storms again, breezy, and low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Welcome to DSI. New Mexico's business technology leader. We help you digitally transform your business to do more, faster, and more secure. Selecting DSI gives you access to the world's best technologies, award-winning local technicians, and our commitment to the New Mexico communities we serve. One local source for all your technology products, services, and the personalized support you can only get from DSI.
It's time for the Southeastern New Mexico Sports Report. It was a banner year last year for Carlsbad girls soccer. The Cave Girls won the state championship. Misty Long was Coach of the Year. Alexa Dugan, then a junior, was Gatorade Player of the Year. Well, the Cave Girls are back in action, defeating Las Cruces yesterday by a score of 2-0. The season has started. Las Cruces in boys soccer, though, upended the Carlsbad boys by a score of 2-0. And there was a game last night involving Roswell and NMMI in boys soccer. It was the Coyotes winning that one by a score of 6-1 over the Colts. The Coyotes back in action tomorrow against Centennial tournament game. A bunch of soccer tournaments starting to happen this weekend. NMMI will try to rebound at Portales Saturday at 3 o'clock. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at 92.9 The Brand.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Americans cut back on their spending last month as a surge in COVID-19 cases kept people away from stores. Retail sales fell a seasonal adjusted 1.1% in July from the month before. That's according to the U.S. Commerce Department. Walmart raised its sales outlook for the year as Americans return to shopping for back-to-school clothes and travel goods. Still, concerns are mounting over how shoppers will behave in the months ahead as the Delta variant of the COVID-19 surges across the United States and mask mandates are reinstated. On Wall Street, the Dow down 282 points to 35,343. The Nasdaq off 137 to 14,656. And the S&P 500 down 31 points to 4,448. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Gosh, can anyone remember a summer as nice as this? And Roswell families are certainly making the most of it, starting with a visit to the Tailgate Nation at Roswell Ford. From pickups and SUVs to family sedans and sports cars, Roswell Ford has the area's biggest selection of pre-owned vehicles starting at just $5,000. Dozens of premium late-model vehicles ready to serve your family for many years and many miles to come. Each one has passed a thorough 139-point inspection, and Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee so you can buy with confidence. Of course, Roswell Ford is always looking for gently used cars and trucks, so if you have one you'd like to sell, bring it by and let us make you an offer. You'll probably be surprised at how much it's worth. It's tailgate season, and a fresh new vehicle from Roswell Ford will help your family enjoy it like never before. So grab the cooler and the barbecue and come see us at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main.
Red Dirt Black Gold 2021 is coming Saturday, August 28th in downtown Artesia, featuring some of the best in Red Dirt country from Tel Runyon, Josh Malloy, Bart Crow, and Reckless Kelly. 92.9 The Brand is giving you the chance to score a VIP experience. We're talking food, backstage access, and the best seat in the house. Just text VIP along with your name to 291-7468. That's VIP along with your name to 291-7468. Enter for your chance to go VIP from Red Dirt Black Gold and The Brand.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:59, about closing in on 8 o'clock, and time for Town Hall News. Stay tuned. On the other side, we get us. We get to chit-chat.
Whole lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
Buckle up, everybody.
I'm impressed. Yeah, we'll have fun.
Should be good.
We'll promise.
We'll have fun, or we'll die trying. Or try
if
dying.
Nothing else, I'll just set the microphone down, and you can listen to me make breakfast or something.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, we can do that.
We can listen to Mike make breakfast.
Spam. All right, 8 o'clock. We'll be back.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
All.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Not that it matters to them, but the State Department says it is keeping a close eye on the Taliban in Afghanistan.
We're taking stock of everything that they have said. Most importantly, we are going to be looking for how they comport themselves, at the way they treat their people.
At least one person was killed when Taliban fighters attacked protesters in eastern Afghanistan. Gunfire being heard outside the Kabul airport as desperate Afghans try to reach that facility, with some of them being beaten back, and thousands of Americans remain stranded in Afghanistan. The death toll now topping 2,000 in earthquake-ravaged Haiti. Tropical storm Grace has been pounding the island, triggering mudslides, hampering relief efforts. Hervé Joseph, a restaurant owner in Haiti, tells us of people of his island are pleading for Americans to help because they consider themselves part of America's backyard.
I know America always help out whenever they can. We're in a situation where we need it more than ever now. We're in a situation that was bad. It's just got worse. We've lost enough human lives. We should try as much as we can to save what we have left.
Listeners wishing to donate to emergency relief efforts rushing food and medicine to Haiti can go to our companion website, srnnews.com. Click on the Help Haiti banner. Tropical depression Fred dumping heavy rain over the northeastern U.S., threatening mudslides, flash flooding in upstate New York after closing interstate highways in the lower Appalachians. The National Weather Service's Rich Otto says tornado watches in effect.
Threat for tornadoes extending from the northern mid-Atlantic region into central Pennsylvania, portions of New Jersey, and southern New York.
Watching Wall Street, stocks are mixed. Right now, the Dow down 18 points, the NASDAQ trading 6 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Let's be boring and do a commercial about cash-out refinances. It's Ryan, and our mortgage team will often have a listener say, I think I understand what a cash-out refinance is, but can't that be bad for you sometimes? So let's hit on that. As with anything, it's certainly not the right move for everyone. If we don't have to, we don't want to add a bunch of years onto our loan, or increase our monthly payment too much, or pay more in the long run. But because home values have skyrocketed so far up the last few years, while rates have come so far down, we've seen many scenarios where listeners today can pull out a significant chunk of money from the new value in their home, while lowering the years on the overall loan, while lowering their monthly payment, and lowering how much they ultimately pay. The key is to just look at the whole picture and be honest with yourself about your situation. If you're looking for someone to show you your options, we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage maker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Cracks within the House Democratic caucus could break out into the open next week when votes are taken on a budget resolution.
Top House Democrats want to clear the way next week for future passage of a $3.5 trillion 10-year social and environment package that is a top priority for President Joe Biden. In a conference call Tuesday, Majority Leader Steny Hoyer told Democrats he'd like the budget resolution to be approved next Tuesday. But 9 centrist Democrats who want the smaller $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure deal voted on first are threatening to vote against the budget resolution. If all House Republicans oppose the budget as expected, Democrats can afford to lose no more than 3 of their own votes and still prevail. Mike Gracia, Washington.
Aimed at preventing more wildfires, Pacific Gas and Electric shutting off power to about 51,000 customers in 18 counties in Northern California. News and analysis at townhall.com. Arizona's governor upping the pressure on the growing number of public school districts defying a state ban on mask mandates.
Using federal coronavirus relief funds he controls, Arizona Governor Doug Ducey has created a $163 million grant program in which schools can receive $1,800 per student. But schools that mandate students wear masks will not be eligible unless they drop the mask rules within 10 days. Schools will also lose out on the added funds if they have to close because of COVID-19 outbreaks. At least 16 school districts teaching nearly a third of Arizona's public school students currently have mask rules. I'm Ben Thomas.
Although he is fully vaccinated against COVID-19, Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he has received a positive coronavirus diagnosis. Abbott, though, saying that he feels just fine. No symptoms whatsoever. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters and Sean Smalls. Yeah.
Hey, look at that. I get second billing.
Actually, get first billing. You're the captain's chair.
No, I just mean
Mornings with Sean.
I just mean I'm actually getting the billing on the show. It took me 2 years to get there, but doggone it, I made the marquee. Just happy to be here. That's all.
I made the marquee just in time for the letters to fall off.
It says Mornings with M. Key Winters.
Ike
Winters, right? Oh, I can't wait to see this Ike Winters. He gonna be good.
Yes.
Don't hit me,
Well,
Ike.
Put some stank on it. Oh, man. Good morning. It is Wednesday.
It is. It has
welcome
become
to hour
Wednesday.
2. And we're here doing the show. I'm remote from Casa de Mi.
How's quarantine treating you?
Not bad.
Yeah?
It's not fun. I mean, it's not
Shut up.
horrible. I think it's the worst place.
I would kill for some quarantine right now.
You know, it is. It's like it's nice to have in your head, but knowing that you're limited on what you can do, and I mean, it's if you want to stay home because you can leave when you want,
right?
Then it's fine. But you know that you're not supposed to, or you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
the fact that it's frowned upon that you get out and live life is it gets in the way. I understand it. You don't have your freedom. You've got all the time in the world, but no freedom. I've got freedom, but no time. So it's like we're dancing on two sides of the same problem.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. But
not to mention, you live in the day and age where everything can be delivered to you either by DoorDash or by me, so it's not that hard.
Sean, I just want to say you're doing a fantastic job.
Thanks, Roy. I appreciate that.
You know what that reminded me of?
What's that?
I just want to wish you good luck. We're all counting on you.
He just pokes in. I just want to wish you good luck. We're all counting on you.
From my non-visual end, I'm just hearing audio.
I told Roy at the end of last hour because he had a great point. In the interview with John, that he didn't come in and talk about until after the fact. I'm like, this is an open forum. Feel free to come in and join in the conversation. And so I wanted to encourage Roy to be a part of things. So
he does.
That's right.
It was awesome. It was just the way he did it. He came and said, "You're doing a great job. Just want to wish you good luck. We're all counting on you."
Well, that's the thing is you've heard me this morning. He's seen me this morning. So
this is true. This is true.
I'm trying to keep this show together.
Roy's just
needs
like
some bonbons.
Roy's just like, I just don't want to cry. I just don't want to cry anymore. I'm tired of the tears falling. I hate it when Daddy's mad.
Well, good news is this is therapy.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie to nobody. I don't go to a therapist because I got a radio show.
Right.
So I get to spew.
Now, let me preface that by saying I do go to a therapist because I have a radio show. Well, that and life.
This is true.
And tends to get in the way a bit.
You should run a therapy show.
You know, Loveline was a big deal for a long time. I think we should do like a maybe Loveline Roswell.
You know,
that could be
Loveline spawned so much if you think about it.
It spawned the career of Dr. Drew.
Yeah, and for that part, Carell for most. I mean, he had the Man Show and all
he had
that.
the Man
but
Show and
Loveline put him on the map.
It got him his start in radio, Corolla, as far as like his start in actual syndicated radios. That's for sure.
Yeah,
you could bring the pickup community back, Sean.
How's that?
The pickup guy with the top hat.
Oh yeah,
I forget his name, but he had the beard.
Yeah, the pickup artist. The pickup artist. We were chatting yesterday about the show. Do you remember the show The Pickup Artist?
No.
Okay, so years ago on VH1, there was a show called The Pickup Artist. Now this show involved a guy named he was called The Artist, and he was the whole show was he would teach dudes who like weren't comfortable in their own skin or weren't competent. He would teach them the art of the pickup game. He would give them game, basically. Teach them the art of picking.
So he was like was it Stitch or whatever that Bill Smith movie?
Yeah, Hitch. Kind of.
Hitch.
Kind of. Except for he was like, instead of like teaching them how to be like a good, in a relationship, this guy was strictly teaching guys how to go to a bar, pick up a girl for a night or whatever, and all of the techniques. It's one of those shows that like you couldn't show today because all of the techniques are very like old world, like. And this is what brought it up yesterday because do you remember that we were talking about negging, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the art of negging or being negative towards a woman, pointing out their negative, their flaws, the things that they are self-conscious about, in order to endear yourself, almost like you're like a middle schooler picking on the girl that you like. That was one of like the main points that he had was the art of negging.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were just talking about the art of picking up and how we could relaunch that show essentially based on the art of pickup. There's like a couple other things too, like peacocking came from that show. Do you remember? You know what peacocking is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Add a little extra piece of flair to your wardrobe. If you wear a hat, that's why pickup artist. That's why he wore a top hat. That's why he wore the guy liner, because it was like an icebreaker. We can start a conversation based on the thing that I'm peacocking, essentially.
There should be nothing called guy liner.
I 100% agree with you.
Wait, did male peacocks do that? Like in the animal?
The idea
or
is,
did the female ones only do that?
The males are the ones with all the plumage. So in order to appeal to the females, they're the ones that spread their tail feathers. And,
That's pretty common in the bird world.
Yeah.
Where the male is the one with the colorful plumage and the
it's scary.
Feathers.
Yeah, but blue jaying didn't have the same ring to it as peacocking. We could have gone with boobying.
Got some
I'm red-breasted. I'm red-breasted swallowing.
Bob Whiten.
Dude, speaking of, and this is not really speaking of, but they put out a 20-second teaser for a Bob Ross documentary on Netflix that's coming out.
God bless America.
Well, here's the thing.
Is it going to go dark?
It's going dark because the documentary says, we'd like to show you what this documentary is about. Essentially, it says, we can't show you what we're going to dive into in this documentary. I don't know if it's about the people who were like behind the scenes messing stuff up for Bob Ross. Because I have a hard time seeing Bob Ross as anything other than like Mr. Rogers, essentially.
Yeah, I hope they don't besmirch his character.
Don't besmirch the afro.
Don't besmirch any of that.
Yeah.
His Twitch channel gives you all the info you need.
It's true.
Yeah. I just know that like his partners, and that's why his artwork's not available. It's all sitting in some warehouse in Virginia.
Yeah.
And there's like 3 of each one.
Not only that, he can't sell like equipment. Like he can't put his name on like a paint set or on a line of colors. Like because of the way they've established his estate.
The partner has all that.
Yeah, the partner owns the rights to all that. So Bob Ross himself can't. The estate can't actually make any money off it. So I'm curious.
I think it's like one evil woman.
Oh yeah, it is. It will, and the man that she's pulling the strings for. I'm genuinely curious to see how this documentary plays out because
when's it come out?
I think a couple months or like a month. I know the trailer looked pretty interesting though. Actually, I have to go back and rewatch to see when it actually probably the end of this month. The way they've been doing things lately.
Yeah, that's a big lead time.
Right.
for Bob Ross. I mean, that's big in my world, but not most people.
You've got plenty of joy of painting to watch until then. Let's find out.
You know what the irony is?
What's that?
I have zero ability to do any of that stuff.
Oh yeah, no talent. I know. Same.
Arts and crafts are not my strong suit.
It says
he makes it look pretty easy.
Except pottery, of course. My wife pointed out pottery. I'm pretty much a ceramic savant. You know, not to blow my own horn
that's
here.
Too horn or anything, but I could fire with the best of them.
Not to Don Knotts' situation, but
trying to find out.
Yeah, I'm dropping references from 40 years ago.
That's right. It says, few names conjure such pleasant images as Bob Ross. With his clouds fluffy and free, his trees happy and green, Ross smacked his brush on his easel and taught the world to paint on the public TV classic, The Joy of Painting. But if we're to believe the trailer for Netflix's upcoming documentary, Bob Ross, Happy Accidents, Betrayal and Greed, something sinister lurks in that bountiful perm of his. Not that we know what betrayals and greed stalk the crevices of his private life, because Netflix isn't telling us.
Sounds like they're bad mouthing Bob.
I have a feeling.
What they called his sinister afro? What did they say in there?
They said something sinister lurks in that bountiful perm of his.
Oh, there you go.
This is basically somebody who's writing a news story. It's like, ooh, I get to be a creative writer for a second. All right.
This is what happens when you legalize marijuana.
Are they going to make it about like his early life as a general or something like that?
I got to imagine it's going to be part biopic, but also most of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that a biopic? Like, I was watching that I, Tanya, and that was really well made.
It was,
but it was pretty dark.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, that was. I would think this is more like along the lines of a documentary than a biopic, because biopic you need actual actors that are like portraying the. And I, Tanya was dark, but I lived it, man. I was there. Like I wasn't there, but I watched it happen in real time.
Chris Evans says Bob Ross.
Actually, be kind of good.
Please tell me that's true. That'd be funny.
Just Cap trying to make it in the painting world.
And Robert Downey Jr. as Robert Ross.
I'm a dude playing a dude with a perm disguised as another dude.
Oh, no, Chris Evans is his son.
Harry.
Steve.
It's starring Haley Joel Osment as Ross. Dad, I just want to paint like you. Actually, he named his son Bob Ross Jr., didn't he? I think that's... I don't know.
I know it's...
That's right up there with naming your kids George, like George Foreman did.
Oh, yeah.
I know one of them,
13
Steve.
of them or whatever.
Imagine Christopher Walken as Bob Ross. Thanks, Chris. What you got? You got these happy little trees.
I carry these happy little trees.
For 4 years.
And now I give them to you.
Wow. Well, folks, you got more of this hour because we don't have a guest, so we're just going to ramble on.
We'll chit-chat.
For a good solid hour.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock.
I've just given up on country radio at this point, dude.
What's that?
I've just given up on country radio at this point. It's like, yeah, I'll do a break eventually.
Country fans, he's coming.
I'm trying, all right?
Yeah.
He's doing a great job.
There's a lot
The
of
man's
plates I
being
got to keep
pulled in
spinning here at this
50
point.
different directions.
I can't tell the difference between country and Southern rock.
There is
sometimes.
no difference. Well, the big difference is
That's
twang.
easy.
People say like Southern rock isn't country, that it's just rock, and then in country is a completely different genre. And
Well,
I'm like, is that a fact?
In this day and age, country is pop.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
If you've got
rock music doesn't exist.
If you've got an 808 and Justin Bieber, that's a country song. There you go.
Like the Imagine Dragons is people's image of a rock band today,
Yes.
and I'm like, no, they're not a rock band. They're entertaining. That ain't no rock band.
Yeah, that's a hard sell. 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's get you up to date with that weather.
Yeah.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. About average on our temperatures today, with afternoon highs in the low 90s and just enough moist air to get an isolated shower or thunderstorm going late in the day. Otherwise, partly to mostly sunny. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight, and upper 60s. Tomorrow we'll get sunshine in the morning, isolated afternoon storms again, breezy, and low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 69 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 90% with winds currently out of the south at 10 miles per hour. For today, they no talk of the rain, just sun, mostly sun. High of 92. Winds out of the south at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, they done slipped a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before midnight tonight. Partly cloudy otherwise with an overnight low of 69 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny. Highs right around 93. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 66. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For you Friday, sunny and 93. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Then looking at your weekend, 20% chance of showers Saturday. Mostly sunny, highs right around 91. A little bit more of the same on Sunday. 20% chance of showers, mostly sunny, highs right around 89, 90, somewhere in that ballpark. And then it looks like we'll be floating into the 90s, sunny skies for the first half of next week as well. All right, it is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, or 39 minutes before 9 o'clock, how Sean says it. And
well, if you're going to go that much back math. Stall for a minute. I didn't realize we had a live read.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, you know what, Sean?
I got a question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Plateau's new app-based TV service called Plateau Stream?
No, tell me about it.
I'll be glad to tell you about it. See, that's how quick I am. You can enjoy all your favorite Plateau channels on multiple devices within your home. And I know right now, a man who's dealing with being stuck in your home with all those devices sounds pretty appealing, doesn't it?
So many devices.
So many devices, so little time.
So few hands.
So much white carpeting. With this new service, you can now have cloud DVR that can be accessed from most devices within your home, along with start over and look back functionality. Plus, Plateau Stream has subscription video on demand. So if you can't find something on, chances are on demand's got something waiting for you. For more information or to sign up for service, head to plateau.tv/stream. That's plateau.tv/stream. PLATEAU. Plateau.tv/stream. You there?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Very
all
good.
right.
I started talking, and then I realized I potted my mic down.
Okay. It happens sometimes.
It happens.
Sometimes you just realize, I'm just talking to the cats.
You know, that reminds me real quick, just before we go to break. When I said that it happens, I have in my head, and this is a product of a talk radio file.
Sure.
Back in the 90s, mid to late 90s, post OJ murder situation, Howard Stern, he does little clips, little drops, and things. And he had a plethora of OJ one-liners, and it'd be stuff like "look out" and "it happens," like that. And so, like, anytime things happen, like when things break down or something, I'll like OJ. They'd slip that OJ going, "it happens," and so every time, like, there is a USAA commercial talking about, we live this, and he goes, "but sometimes accidents happen," and all in my head, OJ's voice goes, "it happens," every time. So when I said that, it reminded me of that. So welcome to my head.
Have y'all seen that? The People versus OJ Simpson?
Oh, dude, it was real good.
I really enjoyed that.
Really well
I actually watched that when it was on FX.
Yeah, in real time, like when the episodes were coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched that on Netflix.
That was back when John Travolta was still semi-relevant.
Man, well, did he?
Back when he was still alive, you mean?
I'm pretty sure that was the Madame Tussauds version of Travolta,
right?
In the movie. I mean, he was playing what's his
Robert
name?
Cardin. No,
Shapiro.
Shapiro.
Robert
Yeah,
Shapiro.
Robert Shapiro. Yeah,
Shapiro. Yeah, and I know that guy looked, but not that waxy. Not Travolta level of waxy.
What's funny about that whole miniseries is how much they nailed the casting. Like,
yeah, they got him pretty good.
Putting down Ross as Robert Kardashian, I mean, that's spot on.
The girl that played Marsha Clark, was very Marsha Clark like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really nailed the casting.
I like David Schwimmer as I mean, I liked him in playing that, but then I looked it up, and it seems like Robert Kardashian. What? No, is that his name?
Yeah, Robert Kardashian. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, him.
He started all this mess we're dealing with today.
Yeah, he was actually more involved with it as opposed to how it was shown in the film. Like where he didn't know
he was
anything
one of
about
the
it.
more prominent attorneys in the case.
Like apparently he
talked
hid
a
the
lot.
suitcase.
He was because
he was like Johnny's number 2.
Yeah, he was.
Really.
Well, he was like OJ's best friend essentially.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah.
But the movie.
But in the legal stuff, I think he was kind of like Johnny's number 2, Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
He was kind of the number 2 attorney on the case. I mean, between him and what's his name, Travolta's character. I can never remember that guy's. F. Lee Bailey.
No, that was Nathan Lane.
Oh, that was Nathan Lane. Yeah, and F. Lee Bailey was another one that was pretty heavily
Well, Robert
involved.
Shapiro.
Yeah, Shapiro.
Yeah, Shapiro.
I have to pull up the IMDb page here. It's been so long since I watched it.
But yeah, in the show, Ross's character, Kardashian, they make him look way more oblivious to the whole thing.
And I think a lot of that was done maybe to like keep the
Kardashian image up.
Robert Kardashian had passed away, so he wasn't exactly in a position where he could defend himself. So I think that was one of those situations where they kind of had to have a little
Play him
finesse to
dumb.
it. Yeah.
Play him dumb a little bit, like
Exactly.
he wasn't aware of everything.
Yeah. Sarah Paulson, by the way, played Marsha Clark.
Yeah, she did a great
phenomenal.
job.
Yeah.
Like you saying, are you saying like Kardashian knew he murdered him, and is like, is that what you're?
Oh,
kinda
me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, not saying that exactly. It's just that there's footage of him like actually hiding the suitcase from, and like, well, he had possession of it, and then later when they went to the court, they didn't. All the evidence was gone from it.
Right. Yeah, it was basically the same situation as all the trophies that they had found at one place that were no longer there. It's there. Granted, when you're making a piece for entertainment purposes, there's going to be some things that are going to be maybe looked over or maybe thought, okay, this is an important part of the story. But yes, for the most part, I feel like they nailed it.
What's that song they play at the end at the party?
It's a great.
I probably can't sing it, but but like the lyrics fit so well with the situation. It's the '90s dance song.
Go back and kill your wife and her friend.
Yes, exactly.
And then blame it on somebody else that you never found. Yeah, I admit the lyrics did fit perfectly with the situation. Weird that they found such an apropos song.
It's like that Men at Work song.
Right. Gonna go back and find the real killers if I can.
6'4", full of muscles.
Oh no.
On that note,
yeah,
it is 8:28. We're gonna take a 3-minute commercial break, and then we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
It's an idea whose time has come. The MTA Mechanics and Tires Mobile Tire Shop. No longer will the drama of auto service ruin your entire day. Instead, MTA Mechanics and Tires will come to you. MTA will install new tires, fix your brakes, or just fix a flat while your vehicle is at work, home, or even the airport. So skip the drama. Call the Mobile Tire Shop at MTA Mechanics and Tires, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests, and they offer answers and solutions when you need them most. Protect your home, your children, and your pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Let Bob Reed Pest Control and their fully licensed professionals start working for you and your family today. Call 623-5344, serving all of southeastern New Mexico. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Hey, this is Dr. Keon Egger at Carabelli Dental in Roswell. Our office is passionate about creating beautiful, long-lasting smiles. But here's the thing. Sometimes that means dentures, and that's not a bad thing. These aren't your grandma's dentures. We combine artistry and the latest technology to create beautiful, natural-looking teeth. If you are in southeastern New Mexico and you have dentures or are considering dentures, you need to come visit us at Carabelli Dental.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 622-4455.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Dallas Cowboys football 2021.
Prescott in the gun. They blitz.
Only heard here.
Deep ball by Prescott. Man all alone at the goal line. CeeDee Lamb.
All season.
43 yards, a touchdown, and a touchdown dance. Saturday night, it's your Cowboys and the Houston Texans. Live from AT&T Stadium on this Dallas Cowboys radio network station.
Pre-game at 5, kickoff at 6 on 92.9 The Brand. Brought to you by Tate Branch of Carlsbad.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3 snake bite victims is drunk. 1 in 5 is tattooed. Hold my beer and check this out. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:31. Welcome.
Yes.
To Mornings with Mike Winters.
I just got to play this real quick. This was the song he was talking about, that Roy was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. And that's actually the Cleveland from Family Guy version of it, but so it's not the right one. But just made me chuckle that he went out and found the reference after the fact. Well played, Roy. Well played.
Yeah, I didn't know you could use a '90s dance song so artistically and thematically.
Yeah, it turns
There's
out.
nothing good from the 90s. That's artistic. No,
What about Power Rangers?
Well, you'd appreciate it more if you actually were alive during when that went on. Because I'm assuming you were.
I was born in '93.
90. You were born in 90, so you were a little child.
So I had 7 years in there.
Jeez, Mike. Yeah. So you were a little baby.
I had 7 good years in the 90s.
And your mama's baby.
I was born in '84, so I was a child too, but I was a little bit more of an aware child.
Yeah.
I had the Backstreet Boys. I was cultured.
There you go.
Yeah, but you're almost 10 years older than him.
It's true. 9 to be specific.
You had Ninja
Heck,
Turtles.
I was an adult in the 90s.
And Care Bears.
Yeah, but not like a responsible functioning one.
No, of course not. Well, I was in the military.
You were in the military, so I guess I can't say that. Thank you for your service.
In the 90s?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I graduated high school in 91.
Mm-hmm.
Before you were
okay.
born. Yeah.
I've been an adult since before you was in Pampers.
Wait, I was about to go do a whole thing, and none of that's radio friendly.
It's like, can't say that. Can't say that.
Forget it.
No, it's okay.
A lot of military,
Dude,
Full Metal Jacket.
It's funny that you mentioned that because
It's like a golf ball through a water hose.
The girl that I'm seeing is military, and former military. She's a vet, and I kind of needed a pick me up yesterday. I was like, kind of in my own head. My anxiety was heavy heading into the dentist, and she had just the right words to say, and most of them I can't say on the radio.
Was it military?
Very much. Hang on, I'm going to try to pull up. I'm trying to pull up what exactly she said that I can say. Hang on. Let's see.
I'm glad we're
a lot of conversation. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll get there.
All right. So,
Mike, I thought you were
real talk, soldier. Get your S word together. Rock on, blank word out. Locked, blanked, ready to to rock. Locked, blank, ready to roll.
Was she Army?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like Army people.
Imagine yelling that, like exactly how you said
Let's
it.
blank and get this blank done, soldier. Ain't getting paid to blank and stand around.
Yeah, that's Army. Yeah, I was in the Air Force.
Oh no, she made that comparison too. She's like, she's like, well, all the Air Force cuties were in the back room getting powdered up. We were we were in the front lines getting stuff done.
Yeah, but how'd they get there?
That's a good point.
Thank you.
Well, obviously by the Army Air Corps.
Hey, when they need us to soften up the work ahead of them.
Yeah.
Who they call?
Hey, I'm not fighting this battle. All right.
We have A-10s.
Right now, I'm going Army. Okay. I'm thanking someone for their service. Okay.
Be all you can be.
I'm trying.
What is it? Delta Farce? Like Larry the Cable Guy? Can't remember what it is.
I've never seen that. I saw the previews for that. I'm like, well, I'm never going to watch this.
I watched
pretty
it.
Good. Actually, that was the
I've
first
seen
movie.
Delta Farce.
That was.
I would not call it pretty good.
Bill Engvall and Larry the Cable Guy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
okay. I'm sure there were others.
Was Foxworthy in that too?
I was going to ask that.
Surely not.
I don't remember.
Well, they broke away for a while. Like they started doing their own things. I know Ron White completely broke away from the Blue Collar Boys. I think that was because he wanted to curse in his stand-up sets.
There's a fourth guy in there, and I can't remember if it's Foxworthy or not.
Well, because Blue Collar was so family-friendly and family-oriented, they kind of like forced him to... And even his was like the most risque of the four of them.
Yeah.
But he still had to kind of rein it in a little bit. If you watch his stand-up specials after the fact...
I saw him in person.
Did you really?
Yeah, I saw Ron White at Into the Mountain Gods.
I know his brother-in-law.
8 years ago.
Not personally, but I've interviewed him and a couple of times actually. Alex Raimundo, they actually have a tequila company together.
That's his brother-in-law?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said brother at first.
No, brother-in-law.
I was like, how'd that happen?
He likes him dark.
It's funny that
I feel like there was an adoption in that.
This is my brother, Alex Raimundo.
That was the first movie I saw Keith David in. Was Delta Farce. Was weird.
That you remembered a Keith David appearance. That's significant.
Well, that was the first time I ever saw him, and then I saw other movies where he showed up, like They Live and all that.
I genuinely.
Let's put it this way, Sean.
That guy.
Best fight scene ever.
Okay. Oh,
in the Army now.
The president from Rick and Morty. Just say that.
Oh,
that's how I know.
In the Army now is greater than Delta Farce.
Okay, that's a hard. That's a tough sell.
Yeah. You were saying that.
I mean, if we're doing like pitting movies,
Pauly Shore, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The great Pauly Shore.
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
You're right.
But it is.
What about Major
bad?
Payne?
Oh, that's.
It's the same shtick.
Yeah.
It's almost the same shtick as in the Army now. You know, they get rocket launchers and point them the wrong way. All the same stuff.
Oh yeah. I would go ahead and venture if I could put my my hat in the ring. Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh.
I
well, see, the
always
Hot
wanted to
Shots
watch
movies
that.
are light years ahead of any of these movies. That's a different class altogether.
Did you say you've never watched that?
No, I've only seen.
Stop
like,
what you're
clips of
doing
it.
right now and go watch Hot Shots Part 2. I would argue that Hot Shots Part 2 is better than Hot Shots.
Have you seen Hot Shots?
Have you seen the original?
No, I didn't know that.
You need to see the first one first.
Yeah, so you've got a weekend planned, which is good news.
You got to be familiar with the character.
I guess I do.
Oh yeah.
There's a super deep story you got to follow.
Okay. All right, Roy. Listen. I'm about to learn you.
Listen, son.
You're getting into my world. When you start saying...
Sit on Papa's lap, let me tell you.
When you start seeing Hot Shots now, this is the fabric of my being, is these movies. Airplane, Naked Gun, Hot Shots, Loaded Weapon. These movies...
Oh, Loaded Weapon. I forgot about that.
These are all movies that are ingrained in my brain. Like half the references that spew out of my mouth probably have some lineage to some of these movies.
Yes,
that's true. Yeah, I would say most of the clips from the drops from his intro music are from one of those movies. So yeah,
I've seen Airplane.
Yeah, well, that's required.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
That's kind of the that was predates a lot of your Hot Shots. That was late 70s, early 80s. That kind of led in. That was Zucker, and that was definitely the intro to the genre. Right. I think because Airplane was a success, it allowed us to have more quality pieces like Hot Shots and
you know what upsets me?
Loaded Weapons.
We had two amazing Naked Gun movies and one pretty good Naked Gun movie. But we had 33 and a third was okay.
33 and a third is the less than.
Yeah, it was okay. But okay, so yeah, 2.5, 1 and 2.5 were great. Here's the problem that I have. We had the opportunity to have that as a series. It started. Police Squad started as a series, as a TV show.
Yeah,
but it was
serious.
It was basically what it is now.
Too?
Yeah, it was what it is now. But it was so advanced. The humor was so advanced. People couldn't keep up with it. It was so fast paced that producers decided, oh, the average viewer, TV viewer, this is so fast, they're not going to be able to keep up with it. They won't know what's going on. They canceled it after 5 episodes.
But that's what makes the beauty of you can watch the Naked Gun movies over and over again, and you find new stuff in there, like things in the background.
Sure, and that's
even to this day.
Now that's 90 minutes in the first one, 90 minutes in the second one, and whatever the third one was. Now that's 180 quality minutes of programming. Now, if you had a 30-minute TV series over the course of one season, we could have just as much content as those 2 movies and more if the series would have continued.
Do you think?
Did it have Leslie Nielsen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they had. Leslie Nielsen was in the TV series too. But let me ask you this: if we had that, would it be like we have Naked Gun movies now? Are they like the McRib? Like they're only special because we can't get them anytime we want. You know what I mean? Whereas, like if we had a TV show, it turns into something that you can have every time you want, and it takes a little sparkle off.
I think you could say that about anything.
This is the counter argument that I would present to that. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
See, I'm not a big Brooklyn Nine-Nine guy.
It's like now, granted, it's not in that same vein as Police Squad or Naked Gun, where all the stuff's happening in the background and every scene is an opportunity for a joke. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of those series that people like with Police Squad. They basically gave up on it because they thought, well, there's not enough humor that can be found in this. Somebody picked it up and found there's several more seasons of humor that we can eke out of this. So that's the example that I use of like if they would have just given Police Squad, if we'd have had like the streaming platforms that we have today back in the day, I would be amazed to see what series would have had a second life.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
And that show you're talking about, I think it got sabotaged by its own because it got moved to like 3 different networks. Over time, and it was hard to build an audience. So I've never gotten into it. I've watched a couple episodes, but not following it like I would other things because, to be honest, I couldn't keep track of where the show was on anymore.
Yeah, and granted, there's a lot of characters you had to keep track of, a lot of stories to keep track of, and they did lend a little bit of heart to it. They were trying to serious up the show a bit, granted, but it's got that silliness at its core. And by the way, it's on Fox now if you're looking. I think you can find all the episodes on Hulu, but I know you don't have Hulu. So.
I do not. I'm Hulu-less.
I know this is
what?
And there's a YouTube channel that is dedicated to like forgotten, canceled shows that only didn't make it past pilot. Like, did you know there was a Bill and Ted?
Animated show. Yeah, animated.
There was an
series.
animated show and a live action one.
Was there really?
Yeah.
With the 2 guys?
No, completely different guys. The Keanu Reeves guy didn't fit the part, but
they couldn't get Keanu.
No, but the other guy actually does in my opinion, a better job than the movie version.
Really?
The blonde guy.
Preston Esquire.
Yeah. And the channel, I forget what it's called. It's like Forgotten Legends or something. Forgotten something.
I want to check that out. Yeah, it's weird. In the 90s, if you were even slightly popular as like an entity, as like a sports star, whatever, they were going to pitch an animated series for you. It was a big deal in the 80s and 90s.
Like a RoboCop.
Clerks got one.
Yeah, Dude, and Clerks, I will say, is one of the most underrated animated series out there.
Yes.
I bought the DVD with all, because they put out 3 episodes on ABC. Granted, it was a stupid network to put it on, but
it was Sunday. It was like Saturday morning too.
Right.
It wasn't like a nighttime one.
So they put out a couple of episodes, but then it just got canceled. So they have a whole series that they never ran. You buy the DVD, you can watch the whole series, and it's phenomenal. The humor's great. It's spot on. It wasn't too offensive. The premise was that Jay and Silent Bob sold fireworks.
Yeah.
Like to make it family friendly.
And I like the way they like make them like say gibberish instead of just swearing.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great show.
Unpopular
Jay said
opinion.
gibberish and sweared.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was
gonna say it's hard.
I think it was too early.
Maybe we weren't ready for it.
Maybe if they put it out like in the 2000s.
Well, it came out. I would say probably in the 2000s. It was like
I thought it came out in the 90s.
Early 2000s is what I would say.
Well, I'd say, like, I think it would have more received audience today.
Well, you
than
know,
it would.
They just started filming Clerks 3. Like they just showed the stills from the set.
But I don't know. I've been like hearing Clerks 3 moving forward for like 3 years now.
They're like all old men.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it was the Ford Bronco until the Bronco came out. You know, it was like everyone keeps saying they got a new Bronco. They've been saying that for 20 years.
Right.
And you're like, where's this new Bronco? Clerks 3 is that movie. Is the same thing. Oh, it's coming. Is it?
Well, I would agree with you, but they posted stills from the set, like Jason Mewes standing in the background, holding up, the horns or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they were actually on the set, So
now, is it actually a Clerks 3?
I think so.
Because like they put some out a year or two ago, and I thought that was like a Clerk, and it was not. It was more like a Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back 3 or
yeah,
something.
no, that was the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yeah, reboot. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I can't wait. I'm hoping, but
ooh, and Rosario Dawson's coming back.
They're Chicken Littling in it a little bit on me here, and
It feels like
I'll believe it when I see it.
It feels like Kevin Smith has lost his marbles a little bit.
Now, in fairness, actually, I clicked on an article.
Life-changing events.
I clicked on an article, and they have a great point right at the beginning. Is the concept of a video store maybe as alien to our current way of life as dial-up or pay-per-character text messaging? It's like, yeah, I forgot. One of the guys worked at a video store. How are they going to spin that?
Yeah.
Now, granted, in the new one,
I think the sweet irony would be it's still a video store.
Right. In Clerks 2, it wasn't surrounded around the quick stop. It was surrounded around movies. So
yeah.
I guess they could just move it from there.
The end of, not spoiler alert here, but at the end of Clerks 2, they buy the quick stop.
Right.
And so the dream was they're going to reopen the quick stop. So I'm got to guess the third one is those two guys running the quick stop.
According to Deadline, the movie picks up in the aftermath of Randall's massive heart attack. Not fun fact, Smith himself suffered just such a near-fatal cardiac episode back in 2018. He enlists Dante, Elias, Jay, and Silent Bob to make a movie that immortalizes his life at the convenience store that started it all. So it's basically they're making a movie wherein they're making a movie. I'm genuinely excited about that.
I heard
I'll
that.
watch it.
I'm stoked. That's cool. That's really cool. Because it's basically going to be like the telling of Clerks 1 from the perspective of the characters of Clerks 1.
Is it in color?
I'm sure they're going to work something in like, we could save a lot of money if we make it in black and white.
Yeah.
They're going to release 2 versions of the film.
Right. Hey, we're 13 minutes away from 9. We probably should take a break.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Let's do that. Let's pause for some local news, weather, town hall business update, and a quick spot of commercials.
Hey, Mike.
So I can, yes.
13 minutes away from 9.
All right.
Just so you're clear.
About to be 12 minutes away from 9.
Wait for it. Hold on. Just talk amongst yourselves. We'll get there. 5, 4,
Unpopular
3.
opinion, I think Clerks cartoon is better than the
12 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Sorry. I was mostly just eating time until we got to that. All right.
8:48. Here's your break.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. On Sunday night, August 15th, agents with the Chavez County Metro Narcotics Task Force intercepted a shipment of illegal fentanyl pills, heroin, and a gun headed to Roswell. The suspect, 39-year-old Amber Kerr of Roswell, was stopped while driving into the city from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Amber was in possession of over 1,000 fentanyl pills, along with heroin and a gun, police said. It's the largest fentanyl bust to date in Roswell, valued at least $25,000 on the street. Amber Kerr was arrested. She's now being held on federal charges. The Gilberto Romero sculpture Gathering Spot was again the victim of vandals at Halagüeño Arts Park. It's the second time the sculpture has been vandalized over the past few years. In the early hours of Tuesday, August 10th, 4 of the bronze birds were stolen from the stone monoliths. The art was originally installed in 2015 and was first vandalized about a week later. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. About average on our temperatures today, with afternoon highs in the low 90s and just enough moist air to get an isolated shower or thunderstorm going late in the day. Otherwise, partly to mostly sunny. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight, and upper 60s. Tomorrow we'll get sunshine in the morning, isolated afternoon storms again, breezy, and low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Americans cut back on their spending last month as a surge in COVID-19 cases kept people away from stores. Retail sales fell a seasonal adjusted 1.1% in July from the month before. That's according to the U.S. Commerce Department. Walmart raised its sales outlook for the year as Americans return to shopping for back-to-school clothes and travel goods. Still, concerns are mounting over how shoppers will behave in the months ahead as the Delta variant of the COVID-19 surges across the United States and mask mandates are reinstated. On Wall Street, the Dow down 282 points to 35,343. The Nasdaq off 137 to 14,656. And the S&P 500 down 31 points to 4,448. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The massive vehicle blowout is on now at Roswell Nissan with truckloads of vehicles, virtually every make and model to choose from at liquidation prices. Get a 2018 Altima for just $189 a month, a 2016 Versa for just $149 a month, or an 08 Pathfinder for just $99 a month. Get a 12-pack just for stopping by, a Bluetooth speaker with a qualified test drive, and a Target gift card with purchase. And bring your mailer to play Lucky Lotto to win cold, hard cash. Sizzling savings during the massive vehicle blowout on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Imagine pool water that is extremely soft and gentle on hair, skin, and eyes. Soft Swim is a chlorine-free sanitizing system by BioGuard. Simple and easy, Soft Swim will give you a crystal clear pool that feels luxuriously soft. Your pool might just become the destination of the entire neighborhood. Application is a breeze, no mixing, no pre-dissolving, and routine maintenance is simple. Come to Mays Lumber Company today, the only dealer for Soft Swim by BioGuard.
You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
College football is back on the High Plains. You don't want to miss out on your Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds' return to the gridiron as they welcome 6 home opponents this fall. The home schedule features the Wagon Wheel rivalry game versus West Texas A&M, our annual homecoming game, and the home opener on September 2nd versus Central Washington. Season tickets are now available for as low as $25 per person. Call 575-562-2153 or visit goeasternathletics.com for more information. ENMU Greyhound football all in.
Wreck 'em.
He's got the catch as he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
It's time to pave the way for the LBK.
Show the world what it means to come from Lubbock, Texas.
Tech has won this game.
Join us Saturday, September 4th as the Red Raiders kick off the season against Houston on your home for Red Raider football, the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:53, 7 minutes before
There
9
you
o'clock.
go. Come on. You can do this, man. I believe in you.
I can. I just don't want
I
to.
choose not to. So we've moved Big Flat Mike over to the corner of the studio, and now he's just like peering behind the door at me. He's like, I just want to let everyone
Freaking around it.
Yeah, he's doing the whole. I just want to make sure you know we're all counting on you. Good luck. We're all counting
So
on
to wish you good luck. We're all counting on you.
you. We'll pop in 3 minutes after now, or from now and do it all over again. Yep.
Yep.
Boy,
Absolutely.
howdy, man. We are
Absolutely.
We are making it through. How are things in quarantine land?
They're doing.
How's the missus feeling?
I think she's doing a little better today.
Yeah. Is the bark down at least a little bit?
I think so. She coughs every once in a while, doing her thing, but she's not as sick feeling as she was days ago.
I was on the phone with Mike yesterday, and I heard a cough in the background that literally made me stop what I was doing and go, "Oh my God!" Like I was genuinely worried. I'm like, "Kim, are you okay?" So as long as she's better than that, then we're good.
Yeah. Her worst were the weekend. She's improved slowly since then.
We'll
now
make
I'm sitting here nervously watching every tick and sniffle.
Have you experienced any symptoms yourself?
I've noticed this morning that I'm sniffly.
Ah.
But I don't know if that's allergies or, whatever I built up in my head. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and then that's the thing.
I've been monitoring it.
Everything that happens is that the Rona or just allergies? I mean, we're now questioning everything that happens. So.
Well, it was concerning enough where I went ahead and Zicammed this morning.
Ah, there you go.
Just to be precautious.
All covered.
Yeah.
Well, very good.
But
very good.
we'll see. But so far I feel okay.
Hey, I wanted to remind you that right now the New Mexico Department of Health and Eastern New Mexico University Roswell, they've got you set up. If you're a student out at the on campus at ENMU Roswell or a member of the faculty, if you get vaccinated right now, they're going to hook you up with $100 cold hard. Well, not cash, but they're going to hook you up with $100. Now, here's how you got to do it. You got to make sure they know, personally show your original vaccination card if you've already been vaccinated, or show the documentation once you get it. Students, you take it to the Student Services Center. Employees, take your info to the Human Resources Office. And either way, they're going to hook you up with $100. Employees receive $100 on their payroll for the next pay cycle. Students get $100 into their student accounts. All you need is proof of your vaccination for you to get hooked up
nice.
with that cash at Eastern Mexico University Roswell.
Well, obviously, with the governor's mandate yesterday, that kind of changes the ball game because now all healthcare workers and school administration staff have to get vaccinated.
Right.
They ain't got no choice.
Well,
I know there's going to be pushback, but every law or people that have tried to fight mandatory vaccinations, every one of them have upheld. So I don't see anybody.
Yeah.
Gain any ground on that.
It's gonna be a tough fight. Here's what I'm running into, because you and I are both vaccinated.
Correct.
I don't know where my documentation is.
Well, that I know. I know where mine is.
Oh, shut up. So I'm in the process of waiting for official documentation from the New Mexico Department of Health. So in the meantime, I'm in this weird limbo wherein I can't stand with the unvaccinated, but I can't stand with the vaccinated. So I'm just monkey in the middle over here.
What do you own a cabinet?
Yes, Mike, I own a cabinet.
Yeah, well, you're a grown adult now. You should have a cabinet where you keep things like birth certificates, the kids' birth certificates.
Right?
Maybe
I had one of those.
Other paperwork,
and then I got a divorce.
Yeah, but you can create your own.
I'm trying. I'm not there yet. All right, baby steps. I'll get there.
It's a box, man.
I'll get there eventually.
Put it on the
Actually, the funny thing is, I actually still have the accordion file that has all the paperwork and documentation. It's just sitting at the top of my closet.
Yeah.
You
need a more official place for that stuff.
I need somebody to put stuff in there like I used to have. That's the thing is, I used to have a whole person that would take documentation and put it where it needs to be, so I didn't have to think about it or worry about it.
That's why he's dating the Army girl.
And you know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Little organization might help a brother out.
Sean's gonna be rolling in here with his socks folded in perfect 3-inch squares. His shirts 6-inch boxes.
That's right. You can bounce a quarter off my butt cheeks.
Have a shine on them.
Yeah, that's
your gig line straight.
That's how I roll. I'm not asking to go, full bore on the other side of things. I just think a little organization might help a brother out. I need to.
Well, you should be proactive. Buy a cabinet and put that stuff in it.
All right.
Preferably in some kind of order that is something you can easily find these things.
I have cabinets, Mike. They're just all full of crap.
Well, take the crap out and put the important things in.
I'm a hoarder. What do you want from me?
You haven't been living in that home that long. How much crap could you have accumulated?
Again, I reference the fact that I'm a hoarder. Things tend to just come to us.
Do we need an intervention?
Yeah, we might.
We might have to do that.
No, I'm fine. All right. Here was the base of the problem. And yes, I know this all goes back to organization, so shut up. But I didn't have my vaccine card when I went in for my second shot. I forgot to take my vaccine card, so I had them fill out a second vaccine. So somewhere I have 2 vaccine cards, one from the first and one from the second.
You've lost them both.
And I've shut up. I was going to defend myself there, but I have no defense. Yeah, I've lost them both. One of them somewhere in the office. I know that. I know it's somewhere in my studio. If that narrows it down any at all.
I feel bad for you, Sean, but you created every single one of these problems.
I know. I'm stuck in a tornado. Well, you caused it.
All right. It is 9 o'clock. We'll be back on the other side of news.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The experts say get your booster shot. That story coming up. But first, the Biden administration plan for evacuating thousands of Americans from Afghanistan relies in part on cooperation from the Taliban. The group's fighters surround the airport in Kabul, so Americans would have to get clearance from them to access the airport.
Hundreds of people were outside the airport early this morning, many apparently without passports, while the Taliban demanded to see documents before allowing the rare passenger inside. President Biden's national security advisor Jake Sullivan says the Taliban have agreed to allow safe passage for civilians trying to leave Afghanistan. The U.S. Embassy has relocated to the military side of the airport, where it's coordinating the airlift of diplomats, foreigners, and Afghans who worked with the Americans. Additional U.S. troops have arrived and more are on the way, with a total of 6,000 expected to be involved in the coming days. Ben Thomas, Washington.
And White House correspondent Greg Clugston says evacuations are picking up after a halting start.
Following chaos and death at the Kabul airport earlier this week, the White House says evacuations are moving forward. On Tuesday, the U.S. military conducted 13 flights, evacuating approximately 1,100 American citizens, U.S. permanent residents, and their families. A White House official says a total of 3,200 people have been evacuated from Afghanistan, and they expect those numbers to escalate.
The Centers for Disease Control and other public health authorities recommending a COVID-19 booster shot for all Americans. The plan would be for the third shot to be delivered 8 months after people got their second shot of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. There's been no word yet on whether a booster will be recommended for the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Watching Wall Street, stocks are mixed. Right now, the Dow down 48 points. So the NASDAQ trading 9 points higher. The S&P 4 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Mounds and mounds of fur. Our hairballs have hairballs.
Our cat Mama, she's 10 years old. She has dandruff and an oily coat.
I have 2 cats, Dixie and Daisy. Daisy sheds like crazy.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives.
DINOVITE.com. I just tried this wonderful Catalicious Dynavite for cats, and my cat has been on it for 2 weeks. She is not scratching anymore. She's not chewing anymore. It is just the best.
I was thrilled when I heard Dynavite for cats was coming out because I'd seen the changes in my dog. To introduce my cats to Dynavite, I took the advice from Dynavite and put their food on top of just a scoop in the bowl, just to get them used to it, because I know if I even switch one little thing, they put their nose up to it. There was not one problem.
Dynavite for life.
You won't believe how happy your cat will be.
DINOVITE.com.
New COVID-19 restrictions in Israel. All children over the age of 3 being required to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test result before entering indoor spaces, except for malls and stores.
The head of Israel's response to COVID has said he believes the country is at war with the virus and the next 2 weeks will be critical. Israel has seen the daily infection rate rise to its highest level since January. It's now brought in further restrictions to try to curb the new outbreak. From today, most public spaces, from restaurants to gyms and museums, will require proof of vaccination or a negative test. And this will now also apply to children between the ages of 3 and 11. Their tests will be subsidized by the government as they're ineligible for vaccination, except for those at risk.
That's a BBC Sebastian Usher. New laws in Cuba against using social media or the internet to stir up protests or insult the state. News and analysis, townhall.com. It is a major find for archaeologists in the ancient city of Pompeii.
It's a remarkably well-preserved skeleton found during excavations of a tomb that also shed light on the cultural life of the city before it was destroyed by a volcanic eruption in AD 79. A skull bearing tufts of white hair and part of an ear, as well as bones and fabric fragments, were found in the tomb in the necropolis of Porta Sarno, an area not yet open to the public that's located in the east of Pompeii's urban center. The discovery is unusual since most adults were cremated at the time. An inscription in the tomb suggests that its owner, a freed slave named Marcus Venerius Secundio, helped organize performances in Greek in Pompeii. Keith Peters reporting.
Tropical Depression Fred dumping heavy rains over the northeastern U.S., threatening mudslides and flash flooding in upstate New York. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. It on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy middle of the week, everybody.
Halfway day.
Hope your Wednesday's going well.
Yeah, so far so good.
As well as it can be. It's a lot going on. I mean, obviously, COVID's wreaking havoc right now. I mean, I'm at home doing the show.
Right. You know what's funny is this is how I know that radio is where I'm meant to be. Because, and you can vouch for this, Michael, when I started today, I was ready to be done with Earth. I'm okay now. I'm at peace now. A couple hours of radio and it centered me.
I told you, therapy.
I found my chi. Mm-hmm. I also found my cheese. That helped.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What kind?
Brie.
Where was it?
It was under the desk, which not a great place to leave your soft cheeses.
Well, that brie is all yours.
Thanks, man. I was going to share it, but if you insist.
It was right next to the toe and Famunda.
Famunda is actually the most fragrant of the cheeses. Poor Andrea. Andrea was trying to do that thing where she sits silent until she gets introed, and she can't do it.
I heard that high-pitched laugh, and I'm like, Roy's got a funny laugh.
Roy's stepping up his laugh game.
Very good. Well, I'm good to know that's not Roy laughing.
No. That is the laughter of one Andrea Moore from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, who we'll be chatting with in just a few minutes.
Yo.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
And she's got her hands on, too, so she can hear you.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Well, that would explain the laughter when I said toe and Famunda.
I'm just thinking I keep my brie next to my toe. That's burrito cheese.
Man,
that's a new one.
Dad Joke City.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome, Sean, for finding your zen.
Thank you. My chi.
Your chi.
Roy give it to you?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Slip you some chi?
He had some extra chi. Keeps it in his drawer. See, he's got a cabinet
full of chi.
Keeps it full of chi. He just keeps his extra chi in a cabinet.
And I bet his chi is organized
right
by
there next
type
to his
of chi.
right there next to his documentation, his birth certificate, his vaccine card.
It's because he's an adult now.
Is that like Shang-Chi from the Marvel movie?
Yes, very much. No, the discussion from last hour was that I don't know where my vaccine cards are. I have two. Because I didn't take my first vaccine to my second. shot, and so I have 2 vaccine cards.
Oh, you could sell one.
Well, they're only half filled out, both of them. So I don't know.
You know that you could very easily.
What I should do is when I find them, put them back to back and laminate them, so I can do like, see, boom, boom, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Speaking of vaccines, I've been hearing on the news a lot lately, and I think this should be someone's new nickname.
Okay.
When they refer to the vaccines, almost every time in the news, they go, well, of course, the Moderna, the Pfizer, and the one-shot Johnson & Johnson. And they say it that way every time. So I want someone to be nicknamed One-Shot Johnson Johnson.
One-Shot Johnson.
I don't know if you want that to be your nickname.
I don't want it to be my name. I want someone to have this
One-Shot
name.
Johnson.
And then I would have to be your friend.
But they say it every single time. They can't just say Johnson & Johnson. They got to go One-Shot Johnson & Johnson.
Not for nothing, but this is all I could literally think when you said that.
Got your sunrise, caught a prize. You're making your Johnson. Party nights, summer whites. You, your friends, and your Johnson. Push the tails, water trails. You, your kids, and your Johnson. Saturday nights, distant lights. You, your girl, and your Johnson.
Old school there for you.
I love how you guys get so close to that line.
Oh, I didn't play the Wonder Boner commercial. I can play that one if you want.
That's what I love about radio.
We dance on that precipice quite often.
Where's the line?
The thing I'm more impressed about is he had that song handy.
Yes.
That too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fair enough. It was in my recent searches.
Talk about One-Shot Johnson.
I typed in "you and" it popped up. Do you mean you and your Johnson commercial from the 70s? Yeah, it was at the ready.
Very good.
That makes me wonder about what people are Googling.
Oh,
you should never wonder
that's
that.
a rabbit hole. Yeah, that's dark mojo.
Right. That's the reason incognito mode exists.
That's why John from Oasis Computers has a job.
Amen. TikTok has that dark side as well.
Right.
Indeed, it does.
Exactly.
Well, there you heard the voice of Andrea Moore from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. We'll be sitting down chatting with her coming up here in just a few minutes.
Okay. Hey, hold on a second.
Ooh,
pad for me. I gotta blow my nose.
I'm going to pad for you, and I'm going to pad for you, Mike, by telling you about folks listening in on your phone calls. Did you know that's happening? Are you aware of the fact that people are listening in on your phone calls? It happens a lot more than you might think. In fact, at any given time, there are 3 to 5 agencies listening in on your cell phone calls. Deaf Protection, that's DEAF Protection. It's enabling assisting framework. You might say you have nothing to hide, or I don't need the government to spy on me because I'm not a bad person. But why would you let unwanted intrusion of your privacy into your life? You shouldn't.
Maybe you're a voyeur.
Well, if you get off on something like that, maybe. DEF prevents outside entities from listening by cloaking your phone from all-seeing technology. What they can't see, they can't hack. You can sign up right now for DEF Protection. That's DEAFprotection.com, DEFprotection.com, because privacy is freedom, and many known household names use DEF Protection. So sign up today at DEFprotection.com. That's DEAFprotection.com.
Very good.
So are you there?
I'm here with a fresh nasal.
With a freshly blown nose.
Passage.
It doesn't work if I cover for you and then you say what the thing you did was.
I'm an honest guy.
Cover for me real quick. I have to
Pretty much
scratch my butt and sit here and not talk for a minute.
I feel a little gas discomfort at the moment. I'm just kidding.
See, that's me laughing.
No, it was at a point where I was trying to suck it up, but it kept wanting to come out.
Uh-huh.
So I had to.
That's what she
stop.
said.
I had to
That
go
is,
blow it.
that is in fact what she said.
Exactly. So
You ever have that
right.
where you're about to sneeze and somebody says "bless you" beforehand and it just robs you of the sneeze?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, my kids get livid when that happens. They're like, "Let me sneeze."
Yeah. I wanted the pleasure and joy of the sneeze. I needed the release. You just robbed me of that.
when they try to do that, do Sean's thing and look at the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at the light or punch your kids in the throat and tell them not to do that again. 14 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's pause and get you up to date with some weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. About average on our temperatures today, with afternoon highs in the low 90s and just enough moist air to get an isolated shower or thunderstorm going late in the day. Otherwise, partly to mostly sunny. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight, and upper 60s. Tomorrow we'll get sunshine in the morning, isolated afternoon storms again, breezy, and low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 72 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 84%, with winds out of the south at 8 miles per hour. Mostly sunny today. High of 92 expected, with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, there is a 20% chance at some rain showers, mainly before midnight. Partly cloudy otherwise, with an overnight low of 69 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny 93 for a high. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 66. South winds 5 to 15. For the rest of the week, Friday, sunny and 93. Southwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, mostly sunny. Highs right around 91. Sunday, more the same. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Mostly sunny, highs right around 90. All right, it is 15 minutes after 9 o'clock. Time to take a quick 3.5-minute commercial break.
You know what I've noticed?
Then, yes.
Since you've been doing this from home, you point out the lengths of the breaks. I just thought it was funny. You're like, I'm going to take a quick 3.5-minute break. I'm like, all right.
Sometimes I do that.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed.
Actually, it's a service. So if someone needs to step away from the radio, I don't know, to relieve themselves or grab a sandwich, they got 3.5 minutes.
You got 3 minutes, 34 seconds. Make it happen.
There you go. So we'll be back in 3:30.
3:34, back at you.
Doesn't happen. The 2 and 2 doesn't work.
Yeah, we can Chuck Willery that.
We'll be back in 3:30.
And 4.
I like it.
Gosh, can anyone remember a summer as nice as this? And Roswell families are certainly making the most of it, starting with a visit to the Tailgate Nation at Roswell Ford. From pickups and SUVs to family sedans and sports cars, Roswell Ford has the area's biggest selection of pre-owned vehicles starting at just $5,000. Dozens of premium late-model vehicles ready to serve your family for many years and many miles to come. Each one has passed a thorough 139-point inspection, and Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee so you can buy with confidence. Of course, Roswell Ford is always looking for gently used cars and trucks, so if you have one you'd like to sell, bring it by and let us make you an offer. You'll probably be surprised at how much it's worth. It's tailgate season, and a fresh new vehicle from Roswell Ford will help your family enjoy it like never before. So grab the cooler and the barbecue and come see us at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main.
A good night's sleep is so important. Did you know that proper sleep supports a healthy heart, decreases chances of weight gain, and boosts a positive mood? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. It doesn't matter your age, sleeping issues can make any of us reach for that all-day cup of coffee. If you know you are not sleeping because of severe snoring or sleep apnea, come visit us. We can make you a small oral appliance that will help you sleep better and live better.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 622-4455.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack.
Fergalicious.
In fact, they're downright funky.
Fergalicious.
Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 622-2660.
Fergalicious.
Platinum Auto Services specializes in complete automotive care. It's the shop that does it all. From auto diagnostics and repair to dress up, rig up, and clean up, Platinum Auto Services has you covered. Platinum accepts all fleet management accounts and offers free pickup and delivery, oil changes, tires, alignments, suspension, lift kits, and easy approval financing available for those unexpected repairs. Give us a call. The shop that does it all. Platinum Auto Services, 575-689-6900.
Otto von Bismarck is said to have quipped, "Laws are like sausages. It's better not to see them being made." While that's a great line, we respectfully disagree. We're New Mexico Foundation for Open Government, a nonpartisan, not-for-profit organization that exists to promote transparency in government, so you not only know what's happening, but why, and by whom. Because what you don't know can hurt you. Visit nmfog.org and become a member today. Sponsored by New Mexico Broadcasters Association.
Red Dirt Black Gold 2021 is coming Saturday, August 28th in downtown Artesia, featuring some of the best in red dirt country from Tel Runyon, Josh Malloy, Bart Crow, and Reckless Kelly. 92.9 The Brand is giving you the chance to score a VIP experience. We're talking food, backstage access, and the best seat in the house. Just text VIP along with your name to 291-7468. That's VIP along with your name to 291-7468. Enter for your chance to go VIP from Red Dirt Black Gold and The Brand.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. Joining us in studio this morning is Andrea Moore from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. How you doing this morning?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Good to hear it. Joining us in her official capacity now.
Yes,
Whereas before
absolutely.
we were just funning around.
That was just pre-gaming.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was just us being silly gooses. Now she's putting on her hat and getting to work.
Yeah, well, I can still be silly.
There you go.
If you ever come into the
goose
chamber,
under that
you'll
hat.
understand.
Absolutely. So speaking of silliness and frivolity, we are in the middle of the frivolous season here in southeastern Mexico, the festival season. Obviously,
Yes.
we just wrapped up, UFO Festival, Alien Fest just wrapped up. It was a pretty big success. We're gearing up for, the fairs happening all over southeastern New Mexico. Obviously, our fair is on the way. Lots of activity here in southeastern New Mexico.
Yes.
Indeed. And a lot of it kind of touch and go at this point.
Oh, absolutely, especially with the governor having come on yesterday.
Yeah, we're all just trying to make it work as best as possible. So how have things been going with you guys at the chamber as far as all that goes?
We are doing awesome. We are fully open. We are open 10 to 4 to the public, but somebody is usually there 9 to 5 because we found if the doors are locked and we don't answer the phones for about an hour or so, you can actually get a lot accomplished.
Yeah, I found. Indeed. I always believed, the work would be great if it weren't for all these customers.
Right? Absolutely. No, we, and the tourist season is still going strong, even though school has started. I can't tell you how many people come in every single day, just, hey, what's going on? I'm from out of town. And sometimes people are just here for, 30 minutes to an hour. Right. Or sometimes they're here, for a couple hours overnight. And of course, that's the first thing we ask is how long are you in town? And then we can build an itinerary for them because obviously the first thing we tell everybody, go to the UFO Museum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hit the big spot first.
And then after that, you're going to be here, all day. Okay, go to the UFO Museum. And then here's our top 10 things that we think you should do. Here's our favorite restaurants that you should go to. We recommend this one for lunch, this one for dinner, that kind of stuff.
Sure, absolutely. And this tourist season has been impressive. I know I've likened it to the fact that we're cramming 2 summers into one. I've said that a lot. So we've gotten an inordinate amount of tourists this season. It's been quite a lot.
Oh, it's been awesome. Mm-hmm. And we've met some really cool people. And of course, living in Roswell, we get all kinds. We get the super crazy. We love aliens. I've been abducted to the super crazy. I don't believe in aliens. Mm-hmm. It's all a bunch of hokum.
Yeah. It takes all kinds.
Just super crazy.
Yep, that too. Absolutely.
Takes all kinds to make it work. But you guys are firing on all cylinders there at the chamber. What's new?
Well, our second issue of Roswell Now magazine should have hit your doorstep by now. Mm-hmm. If you have not received a copy, we do have extras in the office that you can come pick up, or you can contact us, and we'll be more than happy to either mail or drop it off to your location. Anybody within the boundaries of Chaves County should have received a copy of the magazine. It is our Extraordinary People issue.
Okay.
So there's some really awesome content inside. And of course, we're always looking for more ideas to add into the magazine and of course, advertisers. So if you'd like to advertise in our magazine, give us a call. If you've got ideas, give us a call. We are starting back our Sheriff's Luncheon tomorrow at 11:30.
Nice.
Sheriff Harrington will be over at the Chamber of Commerce. And, of course, as always, lunch is sponsored by McDonald's. Woo! Thank you, Nick Snowburger.
Absolutely.
And so I'm sure that there will be lots to discuss with the sheriff because we haven't had a luncheon in quite a while. So come, please RSVP with us because our seating is limited.
We got to know how much food to get.
And that as well. And then, of course, we have been going gangbusters with our business after hours. With us opening from COVID, I had said for the summer months that we would do a business after hours every Thursday if somebody wanted it. But we had a business after hours scheduled for tomorrow, but unfortunately, some issues came up with that particular business, so they had to reschedule.
Sure.
But on the 24th, we have our Red Coat end of the year celebration at the Chamber of Commerce for our Red Coats. So if you want to come and help celebrate and show your love to our Red Coats, because of course they are at every one of our functions doing their meet and greets, ribbon cuttings, grand openings, and they would love to see the love because once again, we've been shut down for, a year and a half, 2 years. So that is the 24th from 5:30 to 7.
It just blows my mind that you said end of year. It's like, we're already almost there.
Oh my gosh.
How?
I know. I slept for a year and a half apparently because now it's almost 22. The 28th, we've got Roswell Public Library Children's Area grand reopening.
Nice.
And they've
huge.
done some major work over there. It is fantastic. So that is the 28th, 11 a.m. So please come join us at the library.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and with everything they went through, with the flooding, with all the damage that happened to many of their books and many of their pieces of media, it's just really nice to see they were able to kind of bounce back and get things back even better than it was before.
Absolutely. And with COVID, these kids need the library more than ever. So please come join not only us at the chamber, but the library and the community for their grand reopening. And then in September, we've got Christmas by Krebs and Hippie Chicks are both going to be doing business after hours.
Oh.
And then in October, we've got Roswell Skin Center. And of course, as we get closer to those dates, I'll give you those dates, but we are starting September, we are going back to the first and third Thursdays of the month having our business after hours.
So it'll be Krebs first and then Hippie Chicks on the third
Correct.
Thursday? Okay.
Correct.
That's kind of a cool thing too, because Christmas by Krebs is one of those companies that's they're very proprietary.
Yes.
They keep things behind a curtain. So to even have a kind of a peek, into how the machinations of how they do stuff, that's really cool.
Oh, absolutely. And if you go through Leadership Roswell, we've got Leadership Roswell class all lined out for next year. So we're going to be getting ready to have their welcome reception and start that ball rolling. And that's amazing that we're already having another class. And of course, if you're in that class, typically Christmas by Krebs lets you go in and do a nice tour. Yeah. And like you said, going through there and seeing what it is and what they really do, because you drive past it if you go out to the base.
Yeah.
And it just looks like a building.
Yeah.
But then you go inside and it is amazing what they do.
Yeah, it's a whole factory. And what's crazy is that they pivoted. That's a business that pivoted during the pandemic. That while other businesses were like, what do we do? They actually pivoted their manufacturing to PPE. And actually we're manufacturing, personal protective equipment to help folks out on the front lines during the pandemic.
Yep, absolutely.
That's the mark of a good business, right there, that they know what is happening and they pivot to make it work.
Yep. So we're excited to have them for our business after hours. And of course, like I said, we're trying to hit on all cylinders with the magazine, and we are just getting started in planning our Rise with Roswell breakfast in March.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for us maybe hitting y'all up for some sponsorships. And anybody that was a sponsor in 2020 before the pandemic hit will still be a sponsor, and we will still fulfill our obligations and our promises from those people back in 2020. But of course, we are always looking for additional sponsorships and speakers and all of that good stuff.
Absolutely. We're just trying to bolster the business here in Roswell.
Yep.
That's what it's all about.
And just trying to help Chaves County and our city, because we actually live in a fantastic community. I just had a talk with one of my daughter's friends' mothers the other day, and we were talking about how awesome Roswell really is and how annoying it does get when people go, well, there's nothing to do in Roswell, and Roswell's an awful place to live. No, it's really not. If you focus on the awful, it's awful. But if you really look for what's wonderful, there's so much going on. And if you're bored, it's on you.
Right. The fact that we live in a springboard community where you could just go 5-10 minutes in any direction and find beauty, find, a cliffside, a place we can take a picture, find bottomless lakes or whatever. It's an awesome place to be.
Absolutely. And we're always looking, and that's one thing over this last year that I've been at the chamber. I can't believe it's been a year already. But I have made it a point to take different paths to work. So it's not always the same thing, because as a parent, as somebody in the community, you get used to going certain routes to go to the grocery store, go to work, take your kids to school. So I make it a point to go down a little extra road here and there. And it is amazing, our businesses and what the community has to offer. If you'll go down just one extra side street instead of just staying on your main route going back and forth to work, it will blow your mind what we have out there.
Absolutely will. And it's funny you mention that, because I was very much in that rut of I go home, I go to work, I go to the store, and those are like my three places. And it's super easy in a place like Roswell to get into that routine of these are the 3 or 5 places that I go. I encourage you to I've been just randomly taking wrong turns.
Yes.
Like I'll get in my car and I'll just turn down a road that literally, I've lived in Roswell for 20 plus years. I've never gone down that road before.
Yes.
So it's almost like unlocking a portion of the video game that I didn't know was there.
That's exactly, and my kids just laugh because they're like, this isn't the way we need to go to the store.
Right.
No, we're going to go this way, because I've done the same thing. Hey, I've gone past that road 1,000 times. Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a residential area, but a lot of times it's amazing that you go down there and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that that's where that particular business was. Okay.
I've heard the ads all the time. I didn't know, that's where it was. Or you see businesses that are set up in folks' homes. I've seen that on several occasions. Folks that are doing, salons or cutting hair or whatever from right there in their homes. And they have a sign out that you wouldn't see otherwise.
Exactly.
It's an awesome chance to kind of, get out there and see what Roswell has to offer, because we have a lot more to offer than you might think.
Absolutely. And that's, circle back to the magazine. That's what the whole purpose of the magazine is, to help highlight these things, because everybody knows about McDonald's. Everybody knows about Walmart and that kind of stuff. But not everybody knows about the little mom and pop shop that's 2 blocks behind McDonald's, or that's over, in Dexter, Lake Arthur, Hagerman. And so that's what we're trying to do, is show everybody all of these wonderful things that we've got going on.
And the magazine is a great chance to do that, to be like, to let people know of these like little things. Like, for example, I didn't know until a friend told me that you can go into the rock store down here on Main Street, and they will actually, in front of you, crack a geode open so you can see like it's like a blind bag. You never know what you're going to get.
That's awesome.
And you can actually go in there and they'll go through the whole process of opening it so you can see it for you. That's fascinating. That's such a cool thing. And I never knew that was something that I could literally pardon the pun, throw a rock and hit the place.
Yeah.
But it's right here in our own backyard,
Oh, it's amazing. You go down Main Street, and if you just ask a lot of these businesses, about what they're doing to show you different products and things that they have to offer, how welcoming they are, and they'll show you that little obscure thing. Mm-hmm. And even if you've gone in, like the rock store, if you've gone into the rock store and you see all these beautiful rocks that they have, there you go. Now hey, can you show me show me a geode? Because my kids would love that. And I know a lot of other kids. I know at one time they had the rock club there, and I don't know if it's there anymore because of course COVID. But yeah, those are the things that I have learned in this last year as somebody that's lived in the community for 25 years.
Sorry, I was when you said rock store, all I could think of was Big Bang Theory in the episode
Oh,
where
yeah.
they're going to the rock show, and the geologist going, rock show.
Yes.
So you're all there.
I couldn't think of the name of the place. All that kept coming to my mind was Not of This World, and that's not the name of the place. That's a whole other. Ancients of Days.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, Rock Store. There you go.
The rock store. Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, this town is amazing. That's the purpose of the magazine. And of course, that's been one of our major focuses right now, because whether we're open, closed during COVID, because obviously right now, as parents are fully aware, both of our, or maybe they're not, both of our high schools are now closed down for 2 weeks. Roswell High voluntarily shut down before the state could come in, because then that way they can still continue with their extracurricular activities. That's also why Carlsbad High School had shut down last week, or at the beginning of the week. God, the last few days.
Yeah, it was a preventative measure.
And so that way they can still have their sports, because I know this weekend, for example, the Institute and Roswell High are supposed to have their first football game.
Yes.
And so they can still continue.
Right. So that, as a preventative measure, if you close down before you get your fourth rapid response, then you're not being forced to close down. You're choosing to close down. So and I get it. I understand, and thank you for taking the preemptive, measure. But it just seems like one of those, like, you can cross the bridge as long as you tell the troll a tale. But if you tell the troll a wrong tale, you're gonna have to cross later. It just
absolutely.
I think as far as the schools go, and I think this is the logic, right or wrong or indifferent, I think this is the logic, is taking the 10 days to be closed is basically saying, hey, if anybody else got COVID right now they got 10 days to get over it.
Right.
And so it's as much to say, to stop the spread and say, hey, we can come back. 10 people, we've been stayed away from each other. In theory, we should be cleaner.
Yeah.
And school will be back to normal.
That having been
solid
said,
thinking, I don't know.
It took 4 solid days of school to have 4 cases at Goddard. So I'm just saying it doesn't take that long.
No, but it's also flu season, and I'm not going to downplay COVID.
No, not at all.
Because it is a thing. It's there. But at the same time, so is the flu. So is the cold. And at what point do we stop not living our lives?
Yeah.
So I think we're all in that COVID exhaustion. We're over it. I know my kids want to just go see their friends. They want to go out. So, yeah, what I tell everybody, if you're sick, stay home. And that should just be a no-brainer, irregardless of COVID or whatever. If you're sick, stay home. And then we don't have these issues. Because the kids need to be at school.
Right.
Because it's killing them. And in some cases, quite literally,
it's
killing them.
It's resulting in such a stunted educational process where some kids are, they're getting their education. Some kids are getting it virtually, and that's not, it's not sinking into them. My child, for example, she's a product of routine. She has to have that routine, or she will fail. So to not have that structure, that you're going to do this and this, it gets in kids' heads. It puts more pressure on a kid than should be there.
Oh, absolutely. And starting and stopping. My kid, I have one kid that absolutely just excelled through COVID. You can give her a computer, tell her, here's what you've got to get done, and she just absolutely flourished. I have another kid that she's a product of routine as well, and she needs to know, what do I need to do today, tomorrow, next week, and tell me what my guidelines are so I can get it done. And the starting, stopping is absolutely horrendous on her. It just absolutely blows her mind. She can't function.
Yeah, it's been a lot, but obviously, we keep our ears to the ground, keep listening for the next instructions. And,
That's right. So to the last time I was updated, and of course, I'm here now, so things could possibly change in the next 5 minutes, but both high schools in Roswell are closed down for the next 10 days. We've got Valley View. We've got El Capitan.
I couldn't think of the other ones. Valley View and El Cap are currently, they were closed down, forced closed for the 2 weeks.
Correct. And then when I checked the website, I was told, I saw that Mesa and Del Norte are on the watch list.
That's not good news, because that's my daughter's school.
And then my kids' school over at Berendo Mid, we've been sent home a letter that there has been they've been in contact.
I've had
we'll see.
Yeah, I've talked to Mrs. Bain, the music teacher over there at Berendo Middle, and she was saying that it's inevitable. Basically, that they're seeing all sorts of warning signs of people coming down or getting sick or whatever, but pushing through and going class anyways.
Oh yeah, I know most of the administration and teachers over there. So we were joking at pickup yesterday. I'm like, is today the day? Right. Is tomorrow's the day? And they're like, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And I'm actually kind of relieved to find out that Roswell High took the preemptive measure, because from a perspective of somebody that is production, I'm like, okay, well, cool. Now I can move forward and do the promos for the games, because I don't want to waste the time and do the promos and then have it be canceled. So well, now I know what's going to happen. So
exactly. And I guess when I talked with the school board about Goddard, I guess technically they closed down before they were told to. So it's to my understanding, and if I'm talking out of turn, I'm sure I will get a phone call or a text message here shortly. But it is to my understanding that that RISD is trying to work with the state to get Goddard to be able to still be eligible for their sports as well, because technically they had closed down before they were told to well.
I wasn't aware that it was a preemptive on their end as well.
Yeah. So those are things, because I make phone calls. But I've always been that kind of a mom as well, where I just show up at the school and I ask questions. Right. My mom taught me how to do that because she did that with us. So I do that with my kids. Hey, what's going on? I want to know. Let's get this done. So, be kind to your teachers. Be kind to the school board. Be kind to the administration. They are doing the best that they can. Does that mean that I always agree with all their decisions? No. Does that mean that you are going to always agree? No, but you can disagree and still be kind.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And yeah, right there with you. There's been decisions that my daughter's team has made, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the best thing for her. But at the same time, I know that their interest is the well-being of my child and the well-being of the kids and making sure that they can succeed. That's all we're after.
And at the end of the day, if you don't like the decisions being made, then be that parent, and there are choices that you may not like what your choices are, but there are choices out there.
Absolutely.
There is homeschooling, there is private schools.
K-12 online, there's options.
That's right. With anything, that's kind of how I've talked to many, many friends the last few weeks, and I'm to the point, I'm just plain over it. Be an adult, make the best decision for you and your family. Right. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask, get a vaccine, don't get a vaccine, but I'm not going to judge you, whatever your choices are, and I just ask that you treat everybody the same way.
Exactly. It's kind of like what Mike has said. I've heard him say this a couple of times. It's just be a decent person, do the right thing, but at the same time, live your life. Don't let something completely take away the opportunity to be a human being and live life.
Exactly.
My mantra throughout life, and I've been saying this since high school. Don't worry about me, worry about your own self.
There you go.
Amen.
That's my life mantra. That's my life mantra. I try to sympathize and empathize with Tinkle, but at the end of the day, we are people and responsible for our own actions, and for this to work, each of us needs to do our part. And if you choose not to do that, then that's on you.
There you go. You do you, boo-boo, and I'm going to do me.
Absolutely.
But meanwhile, we're all doing life as usual, or we're trying to at least. So we want to encourage folks, get out there, see what there is in the city of Roswell. Don't be afraid of edicts or whatever. Put your mask on, be decent, but patronize some local businesses.
Absolutely. We are just now starting to get, these businesses are not only opening, but reopening, and they're going so well. Let's not take another step back or a misstep. So continue to go out there and patronize these businesses, especially the ones that got hit hard and were closed. And of course, when you say that, you think of restaurants right off a hand, but it's not just the restaurants. The movie theater. My kids actually went to the movies last night.
And that's one that's had a hard time picking back up, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Whereas before, you usually see a packed lot out at like Galaxy or over at, the Apex. the lot is not nearly as full. People are still very trepidatious about going out and doing things.
Yeah, and when my kids said, "Hey, we want to go to the movies tonight," sure, let's go. Talk to the parents. Got a group of kids, went in, bought all their tickets, and they were awesome. The movie theater, Allen, Galaxy 8, those guys were just phenomenal. We walked in. They didn't, it was a group, so they said, okay, the group can stick together. They didn't make them do every other seat or every other row or anything. And then, of course, one kid, it was so cool. One kid bought everybody's movie tickets. One of the other kids bought everybody's drink, and another kid bought everybody's candy.
Wow.
And they said,
two big spenders is what we're talking about.
Absolutely. So because they knew as middle school kids, they said, let's help out. Not only are we going to go watch the movie, but we want to help out as well. Absolutely. And so that was pretty cool. And of course, then my other kid and I went through the mall and went shopping after we dropped them off and touched base with everybody.
And that's something else too, is you forget about places like the mall. You forget about places like, another example, Very Berry Yogurt. I was just like, I was in a drive-through last week, and I looked across the street, I'm like, I haven't had a frozen yogurt in a long time. You forget about these places.
Yeah.
It's just get out on the streets, wander around a little bit, and see what you find.
Yeah, and open a door. If something looks like it's open, see if it is. If it's not, it's not. My kids hate that about me.
If it is, and there's nobody there,
it's open, let's go.
No, just loot the place. It's fine.
Yeah.
Andrea said it was okay.
Wow.
You heard it here first. Andrea says if there's a door open in Roswell and nobody's there, loot the place.
I didn't say
I heard it
loot
here.
the place.
I heard it right here.
No.
That's what I heard.
I do work across the street from the police department, so true. They can find me.
That is true. The views expressed by Andrea Moore do not reflect those of Pecos Valley Broadcasting and staff or management.
Or the Chamber of Commerce.
This is a deep fake, isn't it? Deep fake.
That's right. But yeah, no, that's, and you have a great opportunity to kind of see things that maybe you forgot about with the magazine that's out now.
One thing that just came to mind, Bye Bye Birdie. I believe that this next weekend is their final weekend. Yep. Mm-hmm. Another thing that has opened up that we haven't had a lot of. And if I can remember correctly, Way Off Broadway is in the middle of trying to get their fall schedule nailed down so they can start doing their shows as well.
You literally just reminded me of this, but hey, the Roswell Community Little Theater is going to be holding auditions.
Thank you. I was looking for that in my text to self. I was like, oh yeah, I've got a thing on that.
Unnecessary farce. They have parts available for men and women of various ages. They would love to see you come audition. So that's going to be happening. I think that's today at 6.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned. I was digging through my text looking for that. I was like, oh yeah,
we both grab our phones.
There's something I got to talk about that.
Yep.
Yeah. So see that kind of stuff, and like I said, Way Off Broadway's getting ready to do stuff. The dance schools are open. Studio Plus, Miss Minnie's. There's a new one that's getting ready to open, Legacy, which is kind of a competition dance. Okay. So that kind of stuff. We're starting to get back to a normal everyday life. Mm-hmm. And so let's just be kind to one another so we can continue going forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Folks, can I do a Roswell Invader update real quick?
Yes,
I meant
please
to do this earlier and done forgot.
Oh, that's right, because they're in Tucson right now.
They won game one of their championship last night. That means they are one win away from a Pecos League championship.
Awesome.
Tonight, 5 p.m. is game 2. Or I'm sorry, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Mountain. Game 2 tonight. If you go to the Roswell Invaders Facebook page, in the comments of the top 1 or 2 posts, there is a link to go access a stream of the game. If you look at it says game 1 begins 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Check the comments. That was from 17 hours ago. Top link is the Invaders link to the stream for the game. But that's tonight 7, game 2. And if they win, then they won the title.
There it is.
Now, if not, I guess game 3 will be tomorrow. Yeah.
Awesome.
Who are they playing?
Tucson.
No, I got that, but like, what's the mascot? It's always the pupfish or something.
No. This one's the sand. Oh, what is it?
Is it like the Sand Devils or something?
No, like sand. Oh, here we go. Seguros. Oh, yes, the Tucson Seguros.
The Seguros.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know what that means. I don't.
Look it up.
Oh, good point.
But then you get a bunch of Seguros on Amazon.
Yeah. This is hi. Tom Segura Motors.
Like, I knew I could buy one.
Seguro. Nope. Spelled it wrong. Let's just keep talking.
Okay.
I'll find out later.
Do you need a spelling? Here, hold on.
It's Seguro, right?
S-A-G.
Okay,
U-A-R-O-S. Seguros.
Is that a cactus?
I'm guessing it's probably a type of cactus. It is a giant cactus that can grow up to 66 feet.
Oh, it's the cactus that you see.
No, that's a saguaro.
Oh, okay.
That's a saguaro. See, that's
You know
what's
what?
throwing me off.
That explained the picture of the cactus in their logo.
Once again, Michael, some information that could have helped me out 5 minutes ago.
I didn't know it was Arizona.
There's your
Maybe
sign.
they're a green telephone pole. I don't know.
One of the fancy ones with the arms on it, you know. Well, we are coming up on the top of the hour, so we do have to wrap up. Miss Andrea, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
If folks want more information, how do they go about finding you?
575-623-5695, or come on down and see us at 131 West 2nd.
There you go. Love to see you in person.
Yeah, please do.
Absolutely. Miss Andrea, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you back here next time.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, ma'am.
11 away from 10 o'clock. Let's get you up to date with some local news.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. On Sunday night, August 15th, agents with the Chavez County Metro Narcotics Task Force intercepted a shipment of illegal fentanyl pills, heroin, and a gun headed to Roswell. The suspect, 39-year-old Amber Kerr of Roswell, was stopped while driving into the city from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Amber was in possession of over 1,000 fentanyl pills, along with heroin and a gun, police said. It's the largest fentanyl bust to date in Roswell, valued at least $25,000 on the street. Amber Kerr was arrested. She's now being held on federal charges. The Gilberto Romero sculpture Gathering Spot was again the victim of vandals at Halagüeño Arts Park. It's the second time the sculpture has been vandalized over the past few years. In the early hours of Tuesday, August 10th, 4 of the bronze birds were stolen from the stone monoliths. The art was originally installed in 2015 and was first vandalized about a week later. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
The truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
What is our State Department under the ever so cognitively frail Joe Biden telling Americans in Kabul? You need to shelter in place. What? Shelter in place? They're saying this to U.S. citizens, that if we don't get them out of there, every single hour that passes, the odds of them getting out of there alive deteriorate dramatically. And we could be, on the verge of America held hostage day 444 again. The State Department advising American citizens shelter in place. Up to 40,000 Americans remain stranded.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
More and more parents are exploring homeschooling. Now, if not in your family, you probably still know someone who is. Now, you need to check out Acellus Power Homeschool. Power Homeschool is the official program that is offered by Acellus for parents homeschooling their children. And at powerhomeschool.org, well, you're going to see how this program keeps parents in control of their children's education, and they're offering online courses right in the safety of your home and taught by some of America's greatest teachers. Now, it's a way to keep your students learning at grade level while allowing for more parental influence and involvement. With Acellus Power Homeschool, well, they're going to get a quality education studying right there at home. Now, it's not too late for the fall season. Just check out Acellus Power Homeschool right now, your affordable homeschool solution. You can learn a lot more at powerhomeschool.org. That's powerhomeschool.org.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. About average on our temperatures today, with afternoon highs in the low 90s and just enough moist air to get an isolated shower or thunderstorm going late in the day. Otherwise, partly to mostly sunny. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight, and upper 60s. Tomorrow we'll get sunshine in the morning, isolated afternoon storms again, breezy, and low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. Home construction fell a sharp 7% in July as home builders struggled to cope with a variety of headwinds. The July decline puts home construction at a seasonally adjusted annual rate of just over 1.5 million units. It is the slowest pace since April, but 2.5% higher than 1 year ago. Target's streak of strong results extended into its latest quarter. The Minneapolis-based retailer reports sales at stores open for at least 1 year rose 8.7% in the 3 months ending July 31st. That was on top of a 10.9% growth rate in the same period last year. Kansas City Southern delaying this week's planned shareholder vote on Canadian National's $33.6 billion offer to buy the railroad. Regulators have yet to rule on a key part of the acquisition plan. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
Celebrate heroes during Roswell Ford's first annual 9/11 Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September 11th from 10 to noon at Roswell Ford. Register now at roswellford.com to enter in the car show. Entry is $20 with all proceeds going to benefit local charities. You must have your vehicle set up at Roswell Ford by 8 a.m. on September 11th with your vehicle on display until 1 p.m. Trophies awarded for first, second, and third place in each category, plus the People's Choice Award. Deadline to enter is September 6th. Do you know someone who makes a difference at home, at work or school, or in the community? Nominate them for the first ever Hometown Hero Award. Complete and submit your nomination form at roswellford.com. You can nominate anyone to be a hometown hero. One Roswell Ford hometown hero will be selected and honored during the event. Register now for the first annual Roswell Ford Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September the 11th. This event sponsored by LGS Guns & Ammo, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, CRM Discount Awards and Sports, and National Furniture Liquidators.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership, taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, "Judge yourself so you won't be judged." It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
Welcome to the Asian market. This is Nok. Right now we have a new ingredient like galanga, lemongrass, lime leaf, and Thai chili to make tom yam gung and tom kha gai. And try out new delicious nail soup on Saturday. Come see me at the Asian market, 5702 South Main. Call for order 840-5309.
You're invited to the 15th Annual Ag Invitational Golf Tournament, happening September 2nd through the 4th at the Artesia Country Club Golf Course. Proceeds raised will benefit the Eddy County, Chaves County, and Eastern New Mexico State Fair Junior Livestock Sales. Sponsorship at this year's event includes over $12,000 in prizes, plus closest to the pin, door prizes, free drinks and food, and player and sponsor gifts. Call Juan Jimenez for more information and to sign up, 575-746-6732. Presented by First American Bank, Schooler Purina, DBS Commodities, CVE, Royal Services, and Pecos Valley Equipment.
The massive vehicle elimination event is on now at Roswell Honda. A huge roundup of clean, quality pre-owned vehicles marked way down to clear the lot. They need the space, so you get the savings. Like a 2014 Grand Caravan for just $169 a month, a 2010 Honda Pilot for just $159 a month, or a 2014 Chevy Cruze for just $139 a month. And with $2,000 of payment assistance, now is the best time ever to buy. Get a 12-pack for stopping by, a smartwatch with qualified test drive, and Monopoly with every purchase. The massive vehicle elimination event on now at Roswell Honda. 2177 West 2nd.
This is Dallas Cowboys football 2021.
Prescott in the gun, they blitz.
Only heard here.
Deep ball by Prescott, man, all alone at the goal line. CeeDee Lamb.
All season.
43 yards, a touchdown. touchdown, and a touchdown dance.
Saturday night, it's your Cowboys and the Houston Texans, live from AT&T Stadium on this Dallas Cowboys radio network station.
Pre-game at 5, kickoff at 6 on 92.9 The Brand. Brought to you by Brewer Grill.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 9:59. About ready to wrap up the show. If you missed any part of it, you can go back and check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com, in the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. We had John from Oasis Computers in the 7 o'clock hour join us talking tech. We chit-chatted about, well,
nonsense.
A lot of stuff. Yeah, in 8 o'clock. And then in 9 o'clock, we just had Andrea Moore with Roswell Chamber join us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always waiting for you. KSVPTV.com. And, of course, we'll have those up on the Facebook page just as soon as young Roy gets those piecemealed out.
Absolutely. Of course, Sean's got an interview with Congresswoman Yvette Harrell here in about a half hour. And we'll get that replayed sometime next day or two.
Yes, sir. I just saw your note.
Did you?
So here's how. Now we have like 10 seconds to say this. Here's how things have been working. Mike will come in when I'm gone and do things and then sanitize the studio down to make sure. But yeah, he came in and left me a note yesterday. I just found it. We'll get on that, Mike. We'll get on it.
All right, man. Have a great week, everybody, or day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You listen to 106.5.